we are live now. No. We're live.
I don't have headphones yet.
Jen,
There we go. It's on. I got
come
it.
over to this TV. I need to see where my mouse is. Make that no, on the page. No, I can't. Am I on the web page? Alright, we're gonna record on this.
Definitely a bad signal. No, we got two.
One here and one over there.
Yeah, because once this is over, we're gonna blow this out. So.
Yeah, because CBS isn't working on that TV.
Appreciate you, man. Well, I'm gonna leave it right there. Can I hang on to this, or do you need it? Okay. Yeah, I just want to see the score. It's fine. Yeah, we're good. Heck yeah, boys.
Yeah, boys.
We are live. You hear me talking about it? Well, in there, though.
Oh, on this?
His mic is off. Just remind me if it's not there. You hear the countdown. Okay.
What was that word you were looking for Aladino again?
I found it. I've already. He sent me the information.
Oh, okay.
So I've got it all.
It's not pulling up. So.
No, but it's all good. I got it. Thank you.
It's a secret. 6:15.
22 minutes to post. When we talk to the drivers, we just have to be a little louder because we don't have he doesn't have ears.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Lady. We're gonna boost us up a little bit based on what Dean told me yesterday. So.
Okay.
And Scott's gonna go down.
Don't tell me what I'm going to do.
Big mouth.
Uh-oh, the app's not working. How am I supposed to gamble? Oh, it's... Whose Wi-Fi am I on? There's no way I'm on someone's Wi-Fi here. All right, buckle up, Duckaroos.
10 seconds.
You gotta get in there. So hats off to this class, you veteran, and it's actually my best friend of the night, lock of the night. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But again, I think
12 seconds.
Coming to you from the award-winning Final Third Cigar
Stand by,
and Whiskey
everyone.
Lounge, PCA's 2024 Best of Leaf Midwest Cigar Bar, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. It's the Final
You'll
Third
be all right.
podcast.
Use all that.
All right, here we go. Stand by. Stand by. Looks like the network's missing too. Ready, Rob? Ready?
Yep.
Ready? We're not ready yet. All right, now we're ready.
There we go. All right. Well, welcome to the Final Third podcast live at Harrahs Hoosier Park.
Yeah.
I'm Rob.
I'm Will.
I'm Heine.
I'm Scotty D.
I'm Mike.
And we are out here live. This is opening weekend at the track, and we are so excited to have horse racing back. It's a crappy day out there, which just means it's going to be fun to watch horse racing tonight. It's going to be a blast.
It is going to be really something.
We're excited, man.
I mean, we got a driver coming in, at least one.
At least one driver, a trainer.
A trainer. And we'll see. We might have a couple surprise guests. You never know.
Yeah, we're going to have Gene bounce in and out with us. So all you guys know Gene. We talk about him all the time, and we're excited to have him actually on the show with us. So
we haven't had him on the show yet.
We haven't. So it's time. It's time.
This is going to be fun.
Yes.
I'm excited for this. You're going to hear all the background noise because racing's going on. It's opening weekend.
It's nice to see people coming out to get in on the opening weekend, even though it's a crappy day out. People are still coming out and hanging out.
It's not a crappy day. It's soggy.
Soggy. Yes,
Soggy.
that is a different thing.
Track conditions are sloppy.
Sloppy. Sorry,
Yes.
sloppy.
Sloppy.
Is the word I was
So
going for.
we are today. It's St. Patty's Day weekend.
Woo!
So we
Who's
are
ready to
smoking
party?
the Aladino Candela. We're going to start off with that one, and we are going to be drinking the Larceny A125. We've tried this. It's great. I think, honestly, this high-proof weeder is going to go great with this cigar.
You know, I'm going to be curious to see how the cigar and the weeder go together.
I think with the alfalfa hay you get on the cigar, I think it's going to pull the weed out of the bourbon a little bit more.
Yep.
It might tone down the sweetness a little bit.
Now,
but
we
I
did
think
this
it'll be
last
good.
year, right? It's at St. Patty's Day time frame on
I
the podcast.
think we did.
I think we did too.
Unless I forgot. Which
Yeah,
is
it's
it's
crazy.
a possibility.
Like, on the cold draw,
Yeah.
it's sweet alfalfa all
Yes.
day, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's what I like about, like I say this all the time. That's what I like about their Candela. They've actually aged the tobacco a little bit longer, so it's not quite as green and grassy as you get out of a lot of Candelas. You get more of that alfalfa hay, which is actually good in a cigar.
Now, I do want to bring up one thing real quick. I'm sure you can see, you can see it in the background of our video view if you're watching live on YouTube. The Big Ten semifinal is on, but the TV's a little flaky, just on CBS, which cracks me up because we got, Cocky Wolverine himself here, and he's like just having to look and
neck
talk.
craning here.
Yep, he's all
He's
over
gonna
the
get
place. We've
whiplash
not
by the
really
end of the
seen it in
day.
live time. It's like a little score and then black, and so
You're
gonna
gonna have
miss
to let
the
me know
game-winning shot.
who ends up winning.
We're gonna
Right.
miss the game-winning shot because it's gonna go black.
right,
probably will,
right,
yeah.
right.
Looks like Maryland's got the upper hand here. If they get two here, I don't know if they're getting one or two. If they get two here, it could be
I also
over.
do want to call out, UNC Duke. Oh,
That was a
lane
heartbreaker.
violation.
Yeah.
Guess
that
who
was a
the lane
heartbreaker.
violation was on?
Who?
It was on Jalen Withers, and he was an ex-U of L player who is also in the championship today.
So maybe he needs to move to Indiana too.
Yeah, heck yeah. Maybe he has. Are you joining us? Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Hey, you want to
Come
have a
in.
seat?
Come on in.
Come have
Come
a
on.
seat here. Go ahead and have a seat.
I couldn't find you, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Yep, just pull that microphone close to you so we can hear you talking and everything.
Heck yeah. We'll try to be loud.
Yeah, since we didn't want to have you guys switching out on one pair of headphones because that's awesome to have somebody else's ear junk in your ear. Yeah, so Jamie, introduce yourself. Tell us what do you do here?
I'm not sure what role I'm playing here tonight, but so I am a horse trainer
Excellent.
by trade, and my husband and I switched roles, so I handed him the stable, and I took a job for a horse sale company. So I'm going to manage a horse sale.
Okay.
Very nice.
So you'll be out in October down at the fairgrounds?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
We're buying you to a horse down there, so we'll be down there.
I love it. I can't wait.
So we'll get the inside scoop from you.
Absolutely.
I started talking to
Awesome.
my wife about that, by the way, about buying fractional horses.
Yeah.
And Rob was filling me in because I was on a work trip, so I wasn't able to go to the presentation at the lounge. And I told her, I said, hey, once you buy one, I heard really you just need to buy a fractional horse, 4 of them, right? Because then you kind of spread the options a little bit.
Yes.
Diversify.
It's going to take some convincing.
Yeah.
I could have dinner with her if you'd
Ah,
like.
yes, all right, now we're talking.
There you go.
Very cool.
Excellent. All right. So moving from training, I mean that takes a lot of passion. Obviously, you're dealing with the animals on a day-by-day basis, the horses, and now you're going to the sales side. What's that like? What's that difference there?
You know, it's so different. It's so different. I do have a passion for the animal. I grew up in the barn. My parents both trained and drove racehorses. So to say that it's all I know, it's really all I know. I did say that I was not going to do it and went to college and got a degree and decided to use it at 45 years old. But anyways, it's awesome. The horses are amazing. They're like having children that don't really speak, and you have to know what they're thinking, what's really going on with them.
So like an 18-month-old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're telling you something, but you really
You don't know.
don't know what they're telling you
Yeah,
unless
I think
you
my
do.
wife
unless
yelled.
you do know.
I think my wife yelled at maybe our first daughter was like, "I changed you. I fed you. I don't know what's wrong. Why are you crying?"
Yes.
You know.
Tell me more. That's what you tell the horses. Just tell me a little bit more, and we can figure this out.
Nice. So you got to now evaluate them, right? You got to go out
You
when
got to
you're.
know them.
Okay.
Yeah, you know your animal. But we work with them every single day.
That's awesome.
So most barns work 6 days a week. We give them Sunday off as a rest day. We try not to do very, very much at all in the barn, just to let them know that, hey, today's your day of recovery.
That's fantastic.
We'll start back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
So you know your animal. We're
Yeah.
there a lot.
Now,
So-
sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was just going to ask your stable. Do you run pretty much exclusively at Hoosier Park? Do you just exclusively to
Yes,
Hoosier Park?
so I started out with mostly claimers and just old racehorses. And there's such a difference between an old racehorse and a yearling, like you guys are going to go look at in October. The old racehorses are just war horses. They all have aches and pains. They're kind of like us. They've done it. They've been there. They've done that. Nothing really surprises them. And the babies, which is now what we primarily are, is a baby stable. So we have all 2- and 3-year-olds. They're young, they're athletic, they're full of energy, and we have to make them who they are.
Okay, a lot of Indiana sired horses?
A lot, all.
See, I get excited because we come out here once the Tuesdays start.
Mm-hmm.
We're always here on Tuesdays, just hanging out and having cigars and drinking bourbon. And it's a lot of 2- and 3-year-olds and a lot of Indiana sires. So
Yeah,
we'll
so
be
that's
looking
what
forward to seeing all
we
your
have
horses.
all 2- and 3-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, this is awesome.
So you said you're transitioning into the new role. Have you started that role already? You've already
Yes.
started buying horses and all
Yeah,
that?
I'm a few months in, so I don't buy them.
Okay.
So I'm just going to run the horse sale, so I'm the sale manager.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's entering their new yearlings now.
Okay,
So all
okay.
of the babies that were born back in 2024, they're going to go into our sale in October. So they're just now entering them into our sale.
Oh.
So we'll take all the entries, and then my business partner, Dr. Jablonski, her and I will go and visit every yearling, and she will grade them on their confirmation.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when you go actually to these auctions to buy into horses, do you have like a breakdown sheet of each horse so that when you're actually buying them, you kind of know a little bit about them before you see them?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So what we do as a sale company, and what you guys will see, you'll get it about a month before the sale, and it'll be 1 page dedicated per horse.
Okay.
And on that page is going to be everything you need to know about that horse's family. Because when you're buying them that young, you're buying them solely on pedigree and confirmation. That's it. So if their brothers and sisters prove to be this or that, then you kind of look for it in that one.
And I'm sorry, did you tell us what confirmation exactly is?
Confirmation is the way they stand.
Oh.
So much like a football player or a basketball player, they're going to look like an athlete. They're going to stand properly. They're going to be muscular. They're going to be healthy. So you look for the same thing in a horse. If a horse stands crooked, it's going to be hard to get them to go 30 miles per hour.
Gotcha.
So we will go and grade them in May, June, and we will grade their confirmation, and that will decide between their confirmation grade and their pedigree grade, which the pedigree is their family. So we'll put those together, and our best horses sell on the first day, the second best sell on the second day, and the third best on the third day.
Now, out of that confirmation, that grading, how often do you get one of those that gets graded poorly that ends up coming out? Right? I think like a lot of people, when Peyton Manning came out, they were comparing Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf back in the day, right? And it was, it was like Ryan Leaf is this big, powerful dude that can launch the ball. They kind of compared him to Elway in terms of arm strength, and Peyton Manning had really weak arm strength, and there was a lot of concern that he wouldn't be able to get the long ball down there and make it happen. And obviously, we see how that ended up. So does that happen in the horse racing world?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Those ones, they're just surprises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're diamonds in the rough. So nobody picked them out. they probably brought what they were worth, you know, in quotes, at the sale. So they brought $1,500 $2,000, you know, when the other ones are bringing 20, 30, 40. Those brought what their pedigree and confirmation didn't show people. But what you can't see is their heart, and their heart is very, very important.
So if I tell my wife we can get one of these $1,500 horses, you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
There's
There's always a chance.
There is a chance.
And probably a lot of that comes down to the trainer they're going to and all that as well, I would imagine, right?
Every trainer's different, and I will tell you, there's no right or wrong way. Everybody has their own way, and whatever works for them. And I can just say, in our house alone, my husband and I are two completely different trainers.
Awesome.
So he grew up with a father that trained them very hard, and I grew up with a father that trained them very light, and we switched roles
Now,
as adults.
do you have somewhere to be after this? Can you hang out for a couple minutes? The only reason I ask is because the next guest I know is running in the second race. So if we don't get
It's
him
just
on,
John DeLore.
are you able to stick around for a few
Yes,
minutes? We can get John on, and then
absolutely.
we'll come back to
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now, we're excited about our next guest. We had him on last time when we did the show out here. Honestly, this is one of my favorite drivers out here at Hoosier Park. It's
John?
Hey, you know, you bring us the good stuff, and we're gonna wear it.
I totally
right?
missed
We didn't talk about that either. We all showed up wearing them. We had no
we did not
discussion
plan
about
it. We were just, I was like, I had it in my truck still, and I'm like, well, that's what I'm
I was
wearing
on,
tonight.
man. I
so.
totally blew that one, so sorry about that.
I was
did
here
see
last
you on
time,
your
so I
phone.
didn't
You
do
over
it.
there swiping right, swiping left. What are you
No,
on here?
no.
Now,
I'm teasing, bud.
now, you tell us again, so that everybody that's watching now knows. Tell us how long you've been running, what got you kind of started in this, and you know, what's your story?
So I'm originally from Wisconsin. I'm a third generation horseman. My father has a big stable. My grandfather raced horses at the fairs. This was supposed to be a hobby, and I took it a little further. I moved to Indiana in 2014, so 2015, somewhere in there. So this is about 10 years. And, now I own a farm a couple miles from here and have two little girls. And my wife and Tabby and I, we operate a training center, and I'm heavily involved in about every facet of the game here in Indiana. I'm the president of the Horsemen's Association. So, here till 11:30 every night, it seems like 5 nights a week when we get rolling.
Well, I remember I brought my girls out here, and it probably was around that 15, 16 time frame. You know, they're old enough to come out, definitely enjoy it, and let them kind of make some picks and go put some bets in for them to kind of learn about it. And
that's the younger people, kids, the younger generation is what, the foundation of our business is built on. If we don't get younger people involved, we're doing something wrong. Or, that's one thing we always try. Everything we do is to try to do better about that kind of stuff and get younger participants all the time, because, nobody lives forever. So we have to keep the game, progressing on to the next group of kids and next generation. So, I'd love to see some of our kids, some of my friends' kids, be able to race here in 15 years.
That's awesome. Well, I remember they pointed at the program, and they were like, John DeLong. And it was like, my last name's DeShong, which, just sounds kind of similar. Right. And they were like, that's like our name, and everything. So, you immediately became their favorite as well.
Nice.
Perfect.
Always love watching you run out of here.
John, what was your off season like? What did you kind of do?
Cold. So, so in the off season, after we raced Thanksgiving weekend, so I kind of took it easy for a week. I tell you what, my body's usually pretty beat up by the end of the year. You're pulling on 1,200-pound animals, for 9 months of the year. It's pretty taxing. So I generally take a couple weeks off, and then I get right back to it. I started bringing my 3-year-olds for this year in and started prepping, and then the babies come in. They've been in since the end of October. So then we start really focusing on them and try to get our next season's group of horses ready to go So, I mean, I have a lot of young horses in my barn, so I'm not racing many of my own right now.
Okay.
But when we get to the middle of May, I'll have them all ready to roll.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
All right, now I know you guys probably remember this. The last podcast that we did, you guys got the program over there. You wanna hand it to John because
It's right behind.
It's right behind you.
right behind you. There you go. So take a look at race 1 and tell us like what you think. It amazed me because we were talking about, do you guys, how do you plan for your race? How do you know like about the drivers and the horses and what you think about them? You took about a 10-second look at the program last time and you were like, oh, well, this is exactly what's
Yeah.
going to happen in this race.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of blown away by it.
I'm pretty good about, and I think Jamie can probably tell you this too, I'm pretty good about knowing tendencies and what horses are good at, what horses are not good at. I mean, that's a big part of being a good driver. Yes, the program's here, but there's a lot more to it, especially when you race here every night. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you think about what you do full time for your own job, and you can talk a lot about things. I mean, Rob, you know tons about cigars that I will never know, no matter how much I get into it. It's not my job.
Right.
And so you're calling out things to people and telling them about, oh, it's this leaf, or it's that, it's from this part of that country, or this part of the plant, and you've been down to the farm.
Yep.
You know everything there is to know about it. You can just pick one up and go, oh yeah, this is what this cigar should be like.
I mean, just first glance, 10 seconds, like you said. I mean, the rail horse, she has a little bit of tendency. The rail's a bad spot for her because she doesn't get out of the gate the greatest. But she should get away probably 4th. The 2 horses coming off a little bit of a layoff. This maybe isn't her class. 3 horse. Maybe in a little over her head. The 4 horse obviously is a horse to beat, in my opinion. She's dropping down pretty good in class. The 5 horse is coming off a 3-month layoff, so she's probably going to need a start, and she's going up in class. So the 6 horse, she's had a little time off, but she's had a pretty good history in this with this class because this is about two notches down from where she usually races. The 7, she's had a little layoff too, but Don Ish won 2 races last night, so his horses are tight.
Yeah.
They train here at the track, so I think the 4 horse, the 7 horse, the 6 horse, probably the horses to beat.
I just heard a trifecta.
Trifecta in the
I
box.
can just box that. We'll go.
And if
We'll see
the
how it
one
goes.
horse minds her manners, she can definitely go with these. But she's in the past. I mean, you look at her last start. November 30th, she had the rail and made a break. So leaving the gate. So
all I remember is last night I lost all my money. And
thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But all I remember is Will winning most of his races yesterday.
Yeah.
And, Trace Tetrick winning like 7
Yeah,
out of
he had
his,
a pretty good night.
I mean, he had a
That was
really
solid.
great night. Like,
His main
what-
barn had a good night. Tyler George had a good night.
So what do you think attributes to something like that on such a successful night for someone like Trace? Is it more him or is it more the trainers and the horses he's driving?
One of the biggest parts about being a driver too, you're only as good as what's between the shafts.
Yeah.
So, or the horses you sit behind. So we have to drive good horses. We all have enough talent to get them to the winner's circle, but you got to have good horses too. So, I mean, he had a good lineup last night. If you looked at the program before, he had a lot of morning line favorites. So it's good to drive good horses. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It took me till the 14th to get one, so at least I didn't get shut out.
There's a reason Roger Penske wins a lot of Indianapolis 500s, right? He's got a lot of good cars out there.
Yeah.
So
I had a question with the wind and the conditions. How does that affect racing tonight? Talk about
it's
that.
not very enjoyable. Let me put it that way. I do not like racing in the mud. It's funny you say like Trace is a mudder. He always has been.
Oh, really?
I've never seen anything like it. This guy can win races in the mud like I've never seen. I'm usually bundled right up and we wear a screen on our helmet, and Trace will go out there with just like it's a sunny day and it doesn't bother him. But I don't know, maybe it's because he's on the front. It's easier if you get to the front in the mud, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. That's what I say. We're going to need a before and after
Yeah.
of you. You're looking pretty white and fresh right now.
I've got pictures on my phone where like you can't even tell who I am. I'm just completely covered in mud. So
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Does your vision get affected where you have a hard time seeing?
there's some technique to it, I would
Yeah.
say. I wear a visor that's got it's a flip on my helmet, and it flips down. And then I've also got, I started this last year. I've got this it's like a tear off piece of, it's like a sticker. And it goes,
PLAs, yeah.
and I can see, I wear a pair of glasses, but I pull them down on my nose just so I don't get stuff in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then, it really helped actually last year. I just started it, and I wear this little visor, and then you look through this screen in the front of my helmet, and I can see where I'm going pretty
All
good.
right, cool.
So everybody
guys-
has their kind of own setup they use,
Yeah.
but
Get a hold
this
of-
right now is what's working for
Right
me.
on.
Get a hold of some of the dirt track auto racers with the
Yeah.
tear-offs
Yeah.
Yeah,
on their helmets, visors.
very cool.
So what do you think of so far the weekend and attendance? I mean, I wasn't out here last night, unfortunately. I went to the Indy Fuel hockey game.
Yeah.
I tried to convince my wife to come here, but she wanted to go see hockey. So
I think we had almost 200 in the dining room last night, somewhere
cool.
around there.
It looked pretty
That's
good.
pretty good.
It's pretty.
You know, they've got new menu. You know, they've revamped a lot of things. We've got some changes in management. You know, a real refresh button has been hit. That's for sure. I think got a brand new.
New board out there.
Oh, I
very
forgot about
expensive.
that. I gotta-
Very expensive tote
I'm not going
board.
to turn around right now and
It's,
look at it.
it's all LED. I mean, they don't even know the things that we can do on it yet. We're still, I mean, it's only a couple weeks old, but it's going to be something in the summer that's going to be a real good piece out there. You know, we've got all kinds of change in the wagering menu, lower takeouts. You know, there's a lot of fresh new ideas that are coming along and will continue to come along. So
We're really excited about horse racing. We got into it last year, right? And kind of just.
You got into it last year.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're right. You've been in it. I mean, you're from Louisville.
It was my
and-
first
and
year.
so, but yeah, your first year. And,
Noobs.
I mean, I've been out here a couple times, but it was usually just once or twice a year.
Right.
You know, I think I was out here 15, 16 times, maybe more last
Yeah.
year. And, you know, we talk about it a lot. It's just one of those things where I think this has an opportunity to have a pretty significant resurgence. I mean, I know it's a big sport nationwide,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of like, I'm watching on a TV somewhere or whatever. And trying to get people to kind of come out and engage.
Yeah.
I think, you know, having you join us is awesome. You know, we always look forward to it.
Yeah.
We're not going to try and do NASCAR stuff where we promote, you know, oh, these guys were mad at each other. I mean, maybe we will a little if we
Well,
find out about it.
We do get mad at each other some nights.
Yeah.
I mean, it is competitive. I mean, if you watch any sport, you get heated moments. That's for sure.
What, you just need to send Rob a text or something, get his number so you can be like, man, I was really pissed. Did you see that stupid thing last night? I can't believe Trace was terrible
We'll talk
about doing
about
that.
it.
Yeah.
It goes great on
Yeah.
social media every once in a while.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
you ever need to throw some shade out, you let me know. We'll do it on the podcast
there
for
you
you.
go.
That's right. Yeah. We love it. We love being close to it and being able to
Yeah.
promote it. And we tell everybody we can, hey, come out, join us. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I think on our side too, it's a breath of fresh air for not only guys like you, but we've got a new guy, general manager Gabe Pruitt.
Gabe,
I mean,
yep.
he's amazing. I mean, he's going to be on here in a little bit. He's incredible. You
Yeah,
guys
heck
will
yeah.
love him.
We met him last night. Well,
met
me
him
and
last
Heine
night.
met him
He
last
is
night.
he's young, he's energetic. He just loves horse racing, and really likes the gambling side of it. You know, I mean, last night we bet $991,000,
Nice.
and so I mean that's
Some of that was Mike's.
big.
that's unheard of. Yeah. We're gonna go.
7/8 of that was mine.
Yeah, we're gonna go in uncharted territory this year. I have a goal for them, so I hope I'm not wrong. But we got off to a really good start last night.
What's the goal?
I've kind of challenged Gabe. You know, the all-time record here is 124 million
Okay.
gambled on horses in 160 days.
You started almost with almost $1 million on day one.
And I told him, and that was a Breeders' Crown year.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, Breeders' Crown, we're handling a couple million on those nights, so that gives us a nice boost in the fall. But Gabe and I have talked. I think he's going to do somewhere around between 128 and 130 million. I think that's it. And he goes, man, that's a pretty big goal. And I said, well, you're a pretty big deal too. So
let's make it happen.
Yeah,
Let's make it happen.
That's
A lot of
fantastic.
that'll come out of my pocket.
Last night was a great start. So if we can continue it, we've got some challenges with horse population and stuff we're working on, but we'll get there. So.
Perfect. Well,
Great, man.
we know you've got to go to race for race 2.
Right after this one's done. Yeah.
Anything else
So-
that you want to share? The Horsemen's Association or anything else coming up this year? What should get people excited for this year? at Hoosier Park?
Putting me on the spot here. I mean, there's all kinds of promotions here. We're actively working with the racetrack to attract new fans, younger fans. The summertime it's great. Once we get the weather turns nice, I think there's a lot of activities, especially on the apron for young people.
Yeah.
Food trucks. We have live music on the weekends. That stuff's all enjoyable. There's nowhere you can go to have an experience like you can at the racetrack. And for the there's
And
a
it
lot
could
of
be
things
free.
here that are free. You don't have to spend
Free
any money.
admission, right?
But they've and like I said before, they've revamped the steakhouse menu and the clubhouse menu to offer some more affordable choices, and I think all that stuff's going to go a long way, and you're really going to see a big impact on those kind of things.
Beautiful.
So
Great.
we've also extended our outdoor space.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I don't
looks
know if
great.
you guys were here in the fall.
Yeah.
It opened maybe middle of October, maybe right before Super Night.
Yep.
So we've got some more outdoor space. A lot of nice. I think we're planning on some more furniture for our extended
outside, yeah.
space. So still working on how we can. The new management changes. They're going to figure out how we can enhance that experience down there. It's going to be a really good spot. Really excited about those kind of things. So
Awesome. Perfect.
Love it.
Well, we're looking forward to a great
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to the Tuesday nights when they start up. I think late May, early June, somewhere around
Yeah.
there. We'll be out here, and I know we'll be coming out some weekends for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Heck yeah, man.
Perfect.
So,
Excited
quick
to have
driver
you guys back
question.
and-
Yeah.
What do you think about eliminating the passing lane?
a good question.
I raced here prior to the passing lane, and I've done fine. It was a spark when we put it in, and maybe it'll be a spark when now that we've taken it out. It may shake things up, it may not. We're gonna meet with management. We're gonna do a 60-day trial. So the middle of May, we're gonna meet and discuss, how things have gone. Good, bad, in between, and just have a conversation and decide, whether we think we want to put it back in and talk to some gamblers. So Gabe's open to trying anything, and if we make a mistake, we'll fix it. So we'll just see what happens.
Awesome.
Good deal.
All right. Well, any other questions from the panel here?
I think I'm good, man.
We're
That was a
gonna be
lot of
rooting you on
info.
tonight, man.
Yeah.
All right.
We're ready to see
We're
some
always
wins.
cheering for you.
Always.
We're always
Yeah.
cheering
I
for you.
appreciate that. I
Absolutely.
need all the help I
Thanks for your
can
time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
So,
go get
well,
money.
thanks,
All right.
Good luck,
Thanks,
John.
guys.
Victory
Have a
spot.
good
See ya.
season. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Great seeing
Appreciate
you,
it,
buddy.
man.
Yeah.
Take care, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Appreciate
See
you,
you,
man.
bud.
All right. So
Love it.
did
John
we even,
DeLong, baby.
Yeah, John DeLong. We'll have
John
Jamie
DeLong,
join
everyone.
us back here in a second. Did we talk about what we're drinking at all?
Nope.
Yes.
Well, he mentioned
I
it.
announced
Oh,
it, but
okay.
I haven't talked
Gotcha,
about it. I will
gotcha.
say one thing. The sweetness is holding up.
It is.
I was expecting it to kind of wash out. Now the sweetness is right there, and it's
Yep.
actually working great.
Yep.
Stay up
yep.
there, one.
Absolutely.
Stay up there,
Oh, I
one.
didn't bet.
Oh, no. That sucks for you. Stay up there, one.
Mike's watching
Nope,
the race right
one's
now.
dropping.
One
Here
is
comes
dropping.
Oh, 7.
here-
Yeah,
wasn't it
seven's making it.
4, 6, 7? Isn't that what John said?
Yeah, but I had one.
Yeah.
It was, and one
Yeah.
was the,
He
one
said
was the
Yeah.
outlier.
Guess who won, though?
He said if one could get out and stay out front.
But guess
he
who had
didn't
the
start
6
out front.
horse? Trace.
Trace.
Yep.
There you go.
It was
Trace.
Trace.
Mudman.
Trace wins
Yep.
again.
Yep.
I think I'm done with
Starting
trifectas.
starting the night off.
Bullshit.
Hey, Jimmy, you
Hey,
want to join us?
Gene?
again
Yeah, come on back.
for
Yeah.
a
Do you
little
happen to get a picture of John? Okay, we need to get an after picture after the racing. I want to post this.
Yeah, we need to find out what
This
is crap.
what John looks like.
So I had a question. Like the horse sale or the auction's 3 days, and then like how many horses will go to auction or sale at that point in time?
Sure. So-
and is it sale or auction? Like, is it
Sale. We call it a sale.
Okay.
We're hoping for 500 yearlings.
Wow.
And then the last day, we will also sell broodmares, weanlings, racehorses. So we call it a mixed sale on the last day. So people can refresh their broodmare band. And we also, what we did is, so you talked about Indiana sired, so you understand what Indiana sired is, that they're born and raised in Indiana. So we opened it up this year. So it's never been out-of-state bred horses, but we allowed that this year. So it's always only been Indiana sired. So last year, this sale had 350 yearlings. So since we opened it up and added a day, we're hoping.
Yeah, you'll get more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll draw those from Kentucky, Ohio, probably the main states you're going to get them from, I would imagine.
That's our hope.
Good.
Yeah.
Illinois,
So the Kentucky and Ohio programs are both booming.
Yeah.
So we're trying to, build Indiana up to go
Sure.
with them. And so we thought the only way we could do that is to include them, get bigger buyers here, because Ohio and Kentucky get bigger buyers.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll find an Indiana bred that they like while they're here
Sure.
and try it.
Awesome.
From the business side of things, I mean, obviously running a horse and winning a lot of races is going to make you money. But when it comes to having sires and then selling those horses, how is that like as a percentage of what these farms, these, I don't know what they call them, breeders or I don't.
So I think if your sire produces, so you don't know if your sire is going to produce, but I think if your sire produces, that's where the real money is within our industry. Those sires that have made it, and I've been lucky enough to be friends with a couple of people who decided to keep their horses and be the owners of the sires. That's where the real money comes in.
Yeah.
So, and then the special brood mares, they also help.
Got it.
But if you have a sire, a quality sire,
it goes a long way.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering about that because you always hear like, these horses that come from this sire and they go for so much money, and I thought, and that sounds like it might be more than what you get, even if, I mean, unless you're like a Triple Crown winner. But even then, if you're like Triple Crown winner, you're like, you're gonna sire, obviously if it's sire, that
Yeah.
horse is gonna probably make a lot more money after
And the
race.
sires' resumes are usually amazing, and it's just natural for them to produce amazing offspring.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So when you're training, like how often or how many horses are you training at one time?
So we have 34 in training right
Okay.
now in our stable.
Okay.
And it's mostly 2 and 3 year olds. So we have a couple racehorses. My husband just raced one of them in the first race, and but like I said, through the years, our stable turned from an all racehorse stable to a young stable.
Okay.
So I love racing, so I love the racehorses. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I become a baby trainer? And since we have, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. I've just, after so many years of doing it, I've gained appreciation even for my job as a trainer and the animal.
Very nice.
When you pick them out and you buy them and then they win their first race and you're just like, that's all me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I taught them to do that. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Very rewarding.
It is.
Yeah. So I know with your new job, that's obviously a lot of work there too. Are you still staying involved with the training every day?
I try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
so,
can.
Yeah. So in the beginning when we weren't real busy with work, it was every other day I was at the barn and then I'd work for a day. But now it's mostly just Saturdays I can go to the barn. And train, which is okay because my favorite horse, our best trotter that we've ever trained, he trains on Saturdays. So
Works for you.
makes my day.
Yeah.
Just convenience.
Yeah, just convenience.
Yeah.
I didn't happen to plan his schedule or anything.
Sure you did.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Not for a second.
Yeah, so he makes my day every day.
Oh, that's
no matter.
cool.
In fact, I have a bag of apples for him tonight.
That's so cool.
So when with what you're doing, training, buying horses, I find it interesting the gamblers' side of this, because I know that there's a lot of guys that, men and women, that come in, and they're pretty consistent in here, right? This is kind of their passion. This is what they do. This is where they spend their time and their money is gambling on these horses. Do you have interactions with some of those folks from time to time?
You know, when I was younger, before kids, I'd come up here every night. So yes, I would have interactions with them. Once I had 20-some horses and 2 kids, my free time, was limited. So when I did pop up, I would try to come over. But some of them don't like you. They think that I'm not good. They think,
They have their own opinion.
Yeah, they're entitled to it, whether my horses perform for their way of gambling or not. Or if I'm a predictable trainer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So are my stats holding true to their gambling and whatnot, or do they know my horses?
Yeah.
And then this year we threw them a whole nother loop. I'm not really involved in their schedules at all. So now my husband is doing their schedules and training them. So I'm sure the gamblers are like, whoa, we gotta take a year and
figure this out.
and rejudge the Macomber stable. Yes, I used to come over all the time and interact, but since the kids, I don't make it out much. But we make it accessible on social media. If they want to ask something or say something, then we answer.
Yeah, I think that's one perspective that we have yet to get out here that would be interesting, to find somebody who is a gambler quite often. Because, I mean, you talk about the kind of gambling that they do.
Do you know the guy sitting to your left?
That's not what I would call.
He's a degenerate.
He's pretty good.
I'm pretty reserved.
There are guys out here every night.
And I would be curious, like, okay, what is it? What is it that you're looking for, right? And what is it that you have as your system?
I'm looking for a
hamburger.
Whatever. I just want a hamburger. I just want to win enough to get a hamburger.
Yeah.
That's your goal, yeah.
And two, you got to take into consideration the driver-trainer combo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When I trained, Ricky drove all of my horses. So every now and again, say Ricky was away for the weekend or he was in Canada racing the trotter. And then here I would have a different driver. So the gamblers would take that into consideration because they're so used to Ricky. You know what I mean? So first time Sam Widger, is he going to leave with him? Is he going to do something different? So gamblers they look for things like that.
Yeah.
They look for horses if they like the mud. So not only does the driver, you ask John if he liked racing in the mud, some horses don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gambling, they have to know the horse and how they like to race. So if they draw the outside, do they like coming first up? You know what I mean? Because first up is considered the hardest trip of the race. You're doing all the work for everybody else behind. Are you going to be able to? Is that horse going to be able to hold on to the wire? There's so many angles in gambling between the driver, trainer, the horse, the track, the weather, the class. But it all comes back to the horse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm new to horse racing. So like trying to read a program, it's like stat overload, right?
It's very intimidating.
I think it would be really cool if the track did like a horse racing 101 just to kind of learn how to break the program down.
Yeah.
Because it's a little daunting when you first look at it, trying to figure it out. These guys have been very helpful, showing me how to look at it, but I still am a novice and still don't know what I'm looking at half the time.
That's something we've all kind of talked with Gene and Tony to come out and actually bring somebody out and maybe record it, post it on the podcast, but also post it out on the page and let you guys post it out to help train people how to actually bet on horses.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I know these guys have actually, all three of you guys have really learned a lot by the programs and just learning it. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, but I had to go to YouTube, man. I had to go out there and find out who's posted stuff, right?
I've asked Gene 50 million. I was asking him questions last night when we were sitting here, still asking him questions because there's more information I drag out of that every time.
And I can pick up a thoroughbred program and be like, oh, this is different.
See, I'm used to thoroughbred, so I feel the same way. It was way harder to decipher this information from thoroughbreds because I came from Louisville and I'd been way more used to thoroughbreds.
Yeah, I didn't even know pace and trot last year, and Gene points that out, and I'm like, well, that's kind of a big deal. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Like-
it's right there, the very first thing at the top of the page.
the first time one of my horses broke stride, I'm like, no, he's not. He's in stride right there. And I learned what that was.
Yeah.
And then and then after I learned what that was, I got screwed every race on the horse because of,
And there's rules when they break stride, so they have to lose ground. They cannot use it to their advantage and stuff like that. So the trot and pace, if you ever want to explain it to people, pacers are a lateral gait, so their right side goes forward and back at the same time,
Yep.
and their left side goes forward and backward. And the only reason most of them can do them without the hobbles, but we're asking them to go 30 miles an hour or more, so the hobbles just help steady them. And once in a while, you'll see a free-legged pacer, and that means we didn't put the hobbles on them, that they can go 30 miles an hour without them.
Wow.
They're far and few between, and they're really fun when you do have one. My husband and I were just talking about it, and I'm like, I really would love to have a free-legged. He's like, I don't like driving free-legged pacers, and and I'm like, I love them. So to each their own. And then trotters are a diagonal gait. So every horse trots is what I tell people. Not every horse can pace.
Right.
sure.
So every horse trots. So their right front and left rear go forward and backward at the same time, and their left front and right rear go forward and backward at the same time. They're a harder gait to go 30 or 35 miles per hour. So as our job as trainers is to get their equipment perfect. So their weight up front, their weight in the back, and when they do interfere, we have to protect them. So they make boots. So when they are going 30 miles an hour, some of them are just going to hit their shin, where some are going so fast and their legs are so long, they're going to hit higher. So, you get a higher boot.
Okay.
Back to their conformation, if their feet are
Toe in, yeah.
toed in or toed out, and that's going to be how they clear their knees when we ask them to go that fast. So we can shoe them. Shoeing is a whole nother game. I wouldn't even ask you to go there or learn about it. But
It's like tire weights, you know.
yeah, so shoeing, you can shoe them to kind of help with their interfering or not interfering. But the way they stand is going to determine if they hit their knees. But we can put knee boots on them and protect them, and then you only hope they hit them lightly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So you
The
said,
harder they hit, the more it slows them down.
sure. Confirmation is that what we called it?
Confirmation is very important in all of this.
So when you're buying a horse, you're obviously paying attention to confirmation. Does that also affect them, whether they're going to be a trotter or a pacer? Is that something they're looking for at that stage?
Yeah, so you take confirmation into either breed. So,
Okay.
but you can go wide or narrow. So pacers can go just fine if they're narrow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If they're athletic enough, even if they are narrow, they'll go over their knees.
Okay.
As long as they're standing properly. Trotters, everybody loves a wide trotter. The wider they are, the less they're going to interfere. So you want those back legs. So when you go to the yearling sale in October, you're going to be able to watch videos of every horse. Every yearling will have a video, and the goal of the video is to get them to go faster in the field. So they've never pulled a jog cart, they've never had equipment on, so you can add all of that stuff, but you get to see a raw look at their gait. So you can see when they go, do they spread their legs behind, and are they wide? Is that going to create less interference?
Okay.
And you can watch their front legs. So when you watch them, you're going to be able to watch them from the front and the back. So watch how their front feet interact with their front knee. You know what I mean? They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like they're going to go to the left knee. And then your trainer, I recommend a trainer with you at the sale, because they can look at their knees if they're turned out, and that's going to help with all of that.
So is that something you can watch during warm-ups and kind of gauge, like, as a gambler and say, oh, this one looks like it might be a little off tonight, because I see, like, normally, like, if I start taking notes on each of these horses, right? What's that like?
And an average eye is not going to be able to tell if a horse is off.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I don't mean that to be be disrespectful to anybody, and you would have to watch a lot of races to know.
Yeah.
But as a horse person, sometimes I can look at a different breed and I can't tell you 100% where they're off. But I can look at a standard bred and say, front feet are hurting a little bit, and every trainer's different. And some trainers think that the horse should be able to go with that pain. And some think, no, it's not their front feet. Sure. It's their shoulder. But but an average eye is not going to be able to look.
Okay,
But
I
a
didn't know if
trainer.
that was like a gambler
And your
thing or
trainers can
not,
teach
so.
you.
Okay.
Gamblers rely on their most recent starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gamblers rely on the last 4 starts, I would say, is a good representation of their most recent activity and where they are in their career. The only thing that a gambler doesn't know is how the horse's week was. Did they run a fever one day and we were able to get the fever down and think that the horse would be fine? Was the track good enough to train on the day that we should have trained? Because you can't train the day before.
Right.
I can't train my athlete. You know, they're athletes.
Yeah, they need
so
to
there's
train.
a program, you know, where my program was trained 4 days out, 2 trips, pretty hard. Give them a day off of recovery, jog for 30 minutes the day before they race, and then they're ready to go.
See, I feel like horse racing to me is like baseball. Like I mean, you see these guys that are, you know, real big fans of baseball, people that gamble on baseball, now that we can legally sports gamble everywhere, pretty much everywhere, and people go nuts over the stats, right? They read stats lines. There's stats on baseball that I don't even know what it is, right?
Yep.
And I feel like horse racing is the same way. You can really get as deep as you want to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And kind of like guys that go down to spring training
Yep.
and are watching to see, you know, hey, is that guy dropping his elbow when it's, you know, when it's a curveball?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to look for on
Yeah.
something like that, but there's people that do.
Yep.
And they make informed decisions based on that
Yeah.
stuff.
So if somebody's making a living gambling or it's a big part of their income, they're playing odds. Everything's coming into consideration.
Okay.
Yeah, everything.
Whew. Man, I already
That was
feel
a
like
lot of
I'm
information. Thank you so
information
much.
overloaded.
Pass those to Jen.
The gin.
I forgot I had. Those are from last night.
I got some.
All right, so
got
we
some
do
money.
have another
So-
guest
Use
coming
money.
on too.
Oh,
So
good.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the
Thank you
time
so
and all
much.
the
Thank you, yeah.
information.
Anytime.
This
and
was
I'm
awesome.
I'm local, whatever you guys need.
next time we see you, we're going to ask all the same questions. 'cause
Anything
we're
you
gonna
want.
forget
And
every
I'll
one of
teach you
these.
how to read a program whenever
Please,
you have a
Thank
minute.
you.
That would be
we
awesome.
may have to have you come
Yeah.
out to the lounge maybe
Yeah.
on one of the days when you're
Anytime,
training.
please.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
missed the
Harrahs.
last visit. I wasn't given enough time, and I had dinner planned.
No
Okay.
problem
So-
at all.
You
Yep.
come see us anytime.
But
We'd
I
love
did
to have
Google
you.
where you were that night.
Oh, cool.
So I know where you are.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
far.
Great.
We got
Awesome.
Thanks
Googled.
again for
Nice.
joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you
Thank
guys.
you so
We
much.
appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
we
we
really
do.
do.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Heck
Okay,
yeah.
I'm like,
That was awesome.
that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm crushing this cigar.
Me
It's
too.
Just, like, it's so good. And I just
Will's
kinda,
usually a little
I'm
quicker than
smashing
this.
it. You know when it goes.
But it's staying lit, man. I'm not
Is it?
even.
That's
I
great.
haven't had
Yeah, I
time
always
Please
to
join
upgrade.
us,
Hey,
please.
how you
Please.
doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Gabe.
Gabe?
Gabe.
This is Gabe
Wow,
Pruitt,
good to
everyone.
meet you, man. Yeah.
Will, nice to meet you, Gabe. Yeah.
to see you again, brother.
Yeah, I'm Scott. Good to meet
That-
you.
well,
Go ahead and have a seat there and pull the
Yeah.
microphone up to your face there.
Yeah, so we were just
Yeah.
talking about how good our cigars are. The Candela from Aladino. So
Would
you
you
know-
like a cigar?
Oh, I'm good. You know
Okay,
what?
okay.
But this is my type of setup. I'll say that. We got
Nice.
the cigars, the bourbon. I'm
Yeah.
feeling right at home right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So it goes really good with whiskey.
Especially green whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that?
What are you doing, Mike?
Totally ruined.
Hey,
Rob
it's
said
not
no
green
green
beer.
beer, so I made
Yeah,
green
Rob
whiskey.
is not a fan of green beers.
I'm not either, honestly. Yeah, and I'm a beer drinker, but I'm not. The green beer doesn't do it for me.
I hope your poop comes out green.
Dude,
probably
It will.
some stuff's gonna look weird later. I know that.
I
So
hope
So
it's
Gabe,
cream
go
to
ahead and
mint.
introduce yourself. Tell us what you do here.
Gabe Pruitt. I've recently taken on the role just within the last couple of weeks. In fact, right before the race season, is the vice president, general manager of racing. So,
man.
worked for Caesars in the past. I ran a track in South Florida called Pompano Park for about 9 years. Unfortunately, we were on the most valuable piece of property in Broward County that was not developed, so we lost out to a redevelopment deal. So, originally from Lexington, Kentucky. And, you know, it's great to be here in Indiana and at Hoosier Park. It's a first-class facility, as I know you guys know, and really great racing, and just looking forward to the new season.
Well, John shared there was a really great gambling night last night for you
It
guys.
was.
Yeah.
We were very happy with that. We put it in a whole new fresh betting menu.
Yeah.
We lowered the takeout, or the tax, I guess you could say, on a lot of the bets to try and drive more action.
Good.
So we were thrilled. And, you know, it's been a little bit of a tough winter in Indiana, as you guys probably know. So we didn't really have the field sizes last night as we typically would for opening night. So it was really even more impressive with the field sizes being a little small. We like 10-horse fields and full fields. That usually drives handle and action. So with some of the smaller fields, it was great to see, you know, the bettors still came out in force.
Good deal. Good deal.
That's great. I hadn't even thought about field size being a thing.
Yeah,
I'm usually like, the smaller the field is, the better the chance I feel like I got to win something.
That's true, but you don't win as much. You like those payouts to be
true.
big, so you know
Yeah.
when you win, you want about 9 losers in the race. That's why your payouts driven up.
Yeah, I think I remember last year we were looking. We were here on a Tuesday night, and one of the superfectas paid something crazy, $12,000
Oh,
or something.
man. Yep.
Yeah, it was like you could have had a 20-cent bet, and it would have paid like $12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Horse racing is one of the great gambles for me. I mean, I love poker, love horse racing, but you're just playing against the other players. You know, the house takes a small cut, and they literally divide up the winnings amongst whoever has a ticket. So in that situation, you're saying like last year, there was probably only like one ticket out of one winner that had that right combination in a superfecta, and they got probably the entire pool, which would have been $10,000 or $12,000.
like winning the lottery right
Yeah,
there.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's a
But,
big
you know,
pot.
obviously, in order to have the only ticket or find a situation like that, the longer the shots, you know, you get in the superfecta, it's going to trigger a huge payout.
Yeah, I think it was they listed it as a 99 to 1,
Yeah.
but I think it was actually like a 104.
I was going
or
to say,
something
that's
like
as high as the total board goes up. So, yeah, if you ever catch a 99 to 1, which is about impossible, but if you ever do so, you have to wait around for the payout, right? Because it could be anything.
Yeah, always weird when you see that happen. There's nothing guaranteed in horse racing.
Yeah, and you know, and there's people like long shots. You know, we've been on a run even with the Kentucky Derby. You know, and with a lot of long shots, it seems like over the last 5 or 6 years lately. But good stretch. So if you're playing your house numbers or something, it's a good time to find a long shot.
Well, we did hear John said, you know, he went ahead and brought the new guy in and threw down the gauntlet with you on the goal he has for the betting this year.
What's that now?
John DeLong, he was telling us that he has a
number, a goal number.
A goal number.
Oh yes,
for
he
the
does.
season.
Yeah, we have a number. I don't want to reveal right away. We don't want to raise expectations up too much.
We got a range out of John. That's all we got.
we know ballpark.
We're excited. You know,
Yes.
we've had a ton of momentum on social media. I'm a huge Twitter guy. You know, and we put in a betting menu like this, sometimes no one will literally have a bet covered, and that creates a carryover. You know, it's sort of like if you're playing a slot machine, a progressive jackpot. So we put in a lot of bets that could be missed theoretically. And when they're missed, it goes into the next sequence for that particular bet. So what that happens, you know, everyone just comes out in force because they want a piece that's going to be a huge pool. A carryover like that sort of negates the takeout, the tax on the next sequence. So we're looking forward to that. When we get those full fields, we'll have a lot of carryovers. It'll be a betting bonanza is what we hope to trigger.
Well, you said you do a lot of social media too. What do you post out when you're doing social media?
Well, the good news is it's instant. So, you know, I've got most of my followers are like me, degenerate gamblers. So they like to follow and get information. So I can really tweet out something and it gets out to, you know, however many people, 7,000 to 8,000 people in just a few seconds, you know, because when we have a carryover, it might be half hour away, 45 minutes away. So you need that instant way to get that information out. So I think it's just a huge thing, you know, and obviously we supplement that with the graphics and the broadcast that you can see when you're in the building as well. And, you know, to those watching out there in the simulcast world and taking our signal across the country.
So where can they find
That's
you?
what I was going to ask.
We're
We're bet 640 some outlets. So, you know, you could bet from anywhere.
No, I mean on the social media side.
On social media, I'm on Twitter. It's my name, Gabe_Pruitt, Prewitt. But you know, on Twitter, I try to be active. You know, I try not to make it just boring stuff. I try to post videos or obscure videos. The last track I was at, seemingly everything would break every night, so we had a lot of fun with all of our malfunctions and power outages and all that fun stuff. So we try to keep it good and fun, keep the energy level high. You know, I you know, try to, if anyone takes time to reach out and ask a question or make a comment or make a suggestion, which that happens many times, as I'm sure you can imagine, you know, I try to take the time to, you know, obviously acknowledge them and you know, I'm out there as sort of the face of the place to, you know, hopefully drive our fan base up. That's what we're looking to do, you know, and most of the ideas we've implemented, both the last track I was at where we had a very good run there, and it will be the same way here. Or, you know, the suggestions really come from the fans out there. Sure. You know, they're the ones who are watching your product every night, wagering on your product, and you know, many times you're saying, you know, that would be a really good idea, and you sort of get a lot of thoughts from people out there that are in the weeds every night with you gambling.
So that's your personal Twitter.
Yes.
Is Hoosier Park. Do you guys have anything that you're doing to drive towards? Because I mean, you come to the horse track and you look around. Obviously, the age of the people that are here tends to be up a little bit, right?
That's correct. They're not social media savvy sometimes.
Exactly. So what kind of things are you looking to implement over, you know, whatever the next year to try and engage the younger crowd and get them to come out and learn more? You know, we talked about we've been mentioning like hey, I'd love to have a 101, on how to read this thing, because that's
absolutely.
a lot of numbers and stuff. What kinds of programs
I've done some of those courses. I'm probably a novice instructor, but if you ever need any help on one of those, I can help a little bit.
Yes.
But I think it's just as we know, everybody's on their cell phones. This era, it is what it is. So I think social media is by far our biggest way. Myself, when I got sort of involved in the racing, simulcasting. You couldn't bet on your phones on these mobile apps or anything, so you had to go to the track to simulcast. So really, when I first started going to the track, I'm from Lexington, Kentucky originally, so there was a lot of simulcasting. It's a huge horse racing area. There were tons of people at the track every night, even when we weren't racing, that would sort of wise you up and help educate you and teach you about the game, the gambling. So it's very easy. Well, this day and age, almost literally, 85-90% of our money tonight will be bet from people on their couch. So the camaraderie of the racetrack is sort of gone a little bit, so it's tough. So that's why I think the outlets like Twitter and any social media outlet, they're so important, because, I love being at the track. You guys love being at the track. I mean, we like to smoke a cigar and have a drink. It's a great place. It's like heaven to me. But a lot of people are just, they want to sit home, be comfortable, and eat their own food and have their own drinks. And
sure.
You can literally, there are apps out there where you get every single track in North America. You can flip back and forth.
TwinSpires.
It's very convenient. It's very
I use
convenient.
TwinSpires here,
Yes.
unfortunately.
We use FanDuel
I'm a
quite a bit.
FanDuel.
Yeah.
So
We're doing it on the way to Orange Beach. Or
Nice.
to Chattanooga. We were on the way to Chattanooga.
Well, you were
betting-
until you crossed that state
I was going
line.
to say, you got to watch which state you're in.
Yeah,
we're done.
I would, as an online gambler myself, when I would go down for the meets in Florida every year, I would have to drive through Tennessee and Georgia. Not very gambling-friendly states.
As soon as you hit that line,
you'd have to get
it's
all your
like-
action in Kentucky and then wait until you hit the Florida line.
Yeah, there is a huge campaign in Alabama. My wife and I go down there quite often. In fact, my wife is down there on just a solo vacation right now, and they are pushing hard to get sports gambling in there.
They need it, man. They need it.
That's part of my responsibilities here. I oversee the sports book and the sports wagering as well, and that was the track that I most recently came from as well. So, sports betting, like literally even on the Caesar side, so many new markets are opening up. It's crazy, if it's so much opportunity for growth. We've had kids we brought in as ticket riders, and within a year and a half, they're managers. They're running their own sports book, because that's how just exponentially the states are opening up to a game. I think it's up to 38 states or something now. So
we're getting there.
We're getting there, right?
Look at this. John DeLong pulling away with icy caviar.
John. He's going to want to come on the podcast more and more, because it's a luck thing. Yeah, absolutely.
He's on a good run. He drove a winner in the last race last night, and this is his first drive tonight. So he's won his last 2 times in the month.
That's perfect. So
let's go.
One of the
Congrats,
things that we
John
talk
DeLong.
about, the Cigar Lounge, right? Final third, we focus a lot on the community aspect, right? You can't go and smoke a cigar like a cigarette, right? It's not a 5-minute thing and you're done. If you're going to go have a cigar, have a drink, you're sitting for an hour and a half, and it's a very community-driven place, right? When you go, you lots of times, if you're just going to your local lounge, if you don't know anybody, you sit down, you strike up a conversation. The chairs are set up kind of like this when you go to the lounge. So what kind of opportunity do you think there is at the track itself to create kind of communities like that? Because when you come out, you could come out and you could bet 2 races and go, but realistically, you want to make an evening of it. And not just maybe a chance with your friends, but other like-minded people, right? I almost wish there was like a sign, new gamblers sit here, and then, a couple guys that know what they're doing that don't mind having sharing information come over and go, oh, well, you should be looking at this or be looking at that.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great point. You want to make it an accommodating place. Racing can be a little intimidating for people to walk in and they pick up a program that sort of looks like an encyclopedia and what all these numbers mean and what's this. So, those are the type of things that we are looking to do. We're fortunate here. Even the limited time I've been here, we've got a great marketing staff, great crew that are here to assist. It's not a perfect setup that we have right now, but we'd like to get some place where newcomers can go and say, hey, what's this and what's that? Because the best thing, if we have someone that's interested, that's a good head start. That doesn't always happen. So that's great.
My idea was, we wanted to start doing this year. We started doing the live episodes, and we wanted to kind of continue that into race season. Typically, once Tuesdays start up, we were here every Tuesday during race season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we were considering, and if it's okay with everyone here at Harrahs, to start doing that, Harness Racing 101 on Tuesday nights, where we'll just do like a shortened episode and then have some sort of subject matter expert join us to talk about, 1 week we'll do programs, next week we'll do betting, next week we'll do drivers, and then we'll just go through like the gamut. through
Yeah, I think it's
racing
great.
season.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So-
You know, the most of any new audience we can get out there. You know, it's great because more people are gambling now than ever before. It's
Absolutely.
just, you know, we got to get them back to the racetrack. This is a fun
Yeah.
place.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really fun place
Yeah.
to hang out. You know, some of the greatest characters I've met in my life were
Yeah.
racetrackers. You know,
Yeah,
so
100%.
it really can be a fantastic place. So that's the type of atmosphere that we're looking to create. And the only way you do that is by, you know, getting new fans out. And, you know, sports is a little easier. Everybody has an opinion. You know, on sports,
Right.
you know, my
Yeah.
barber will tell me who he thinks is going to win the NCAA tournament. But it's,
Yeah.
you know, horses can be a little trickier. They're a little bit more of a learning curve. But there's nothing more rewarding when you do start to get it and kind of pick it up. It's there's a lot to it. It's sort of challenging. You know, it's a lot more intellectual than, you know, hitting a button on a machine or whatever. It's really fun. So I think the more knowledge we can get out there to people, the better. And I think that you know, the fans will like it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Gabe, we know you're a busy guy. You got your radio going. You got your cell phone
do a little
going. You
hanging
got all
post
that stuff
times.
going. Yep. Anything else that you want to share with our listeners out there about this season and you know, just anything that's going on? Get 'em
Just
out
we'd
here.
like to invite them out. You know, if you have a chance, again, Gabe Pruitt here. You can ask for me when you come in. For that matter, if you're out there, we just want to create a great atmosphere on the track. It's a great patio atmosphere. You know, it's just a fun place, and that's what we're looking to create: fun, energy, new betting menu. So really, you know, if you're not a huge gambler, you want to come out and just check it out and see it. It's still a fun place to hang out. Come out and have a couple drinks and enjoy the atmosphere. Maybe you'll like to place a bet or two after a while. So that's what I say. It's free to get in. There's no charge. There's no upfront cost. You have nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Love it.
Thank you so much for the
Thank you for
time.
having us.
Gabe. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
let's
guys.
get back to work. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Take
It's
care.
great meeting you,
we'll see
man.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You got it, buddy.
thanks.
Thank you.
Gabe Pruitt, man.
Gabe Pruitt, everyone.
You know, John was not wrong.
He's not wrong at all.
He's bringing a lot of new energy to this place.
That's-
I think he's going to be awesome for this place.
You can
And-
tell.
and-
You can tell by his voice he used to announce at those tracks.
Oh,
too.
That's what
yeah.
I was
Oh,
thinking.
100%,
Oh,
yeah.
He's rivaling. I got a rival out there on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
mic, man. That's
That was
yeah,
a
he-
good pick.
He
that
used to call
procedure.
races at Red Mile, Buffalo, Pompano. He
Yeah.
used to call races at all those places. When I looked him up earlier and saw, and as soon as he sat down and started talking, I was like, "Yep, you
That's
can tell."
him. That's awesome.
You could tell. He was actually on Fox Sports.
Oh, really?
Doing a co-host issue with Fox Sports before too, when they were racing out there
Oh, wow.
at Pompano.
cool.
I gotta get another whiskey here.
Oh,
so.
there you
I
go,
got to
there
get
you
into
So I'm
race 3
bringing,
before we get too long here.
Yeah,
so.
you get going. I got to give a card to my daughter.
All right, so I got that
need-
one.
Look at the numbers.
I need a drink. Just give me another double of the larceny, the larceny barrel proof. Okay, just a double of that neat. Thanks, dear. My lovely daughter Adele.
His nurse for next week.
That's right. Yeah, I got my knee
That's
surgery
true.
next week.
This week, end of the week.
You know, I sent Janelle off to Orange Beach. I was like, she's gonna end up being my
doing it.
beer bitch, and you know, it's she'll get back on Thursday night, so that'll still
okay.
that'll still happen. But
Okay.
give her a little break.
Yeah.
Give her a little time off. It's gonna be real busy with a whole lot of
They
stuff
can-
going
they
on.
can tag
within the
in and tag
summer.
out.
Exactly. Yep. So I said, hon, why don't you just go?
Yeah.
Just go for a few days.
One
Go-
of
go
the
take a
other
break.
things that Gabe was trying to do was also, because they do live stream the prelims here
Okay.
before the actual racing starts. They do have a live stream. He was actually trying to push to get the actual races on live stream on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So
Huh.
we'll see if that ever becomes a thing or not. But that
I'm
was
sure
one of
that's
the
got
things
to
he
be
was
something
pushing.
he's got to work with the governing bodies of horse racing and all that stuff to do live on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
but
would
that was
imagine.
another thing that he was
And it's
trying
also
to
YouTube.
put forth there to try and get a bigger audience. Was if it was on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's on YouTube.
All right,
Yeah.
time to pay a bill.
All right.
All
let's
right.
pay
Time
it
out.
back.
All right, let's go.
Calling all dog lovers, say hello to Spencer Lee's, offering freeze-dried pet treats, crafted with care and bursting with flavor. Spencer Lee's treats
All
are
the way
the
around,
ultimate
yeah.
reward for your four-legged friend. Made from single ingredients and freeze-dried to perfection, these treats are packed with all the goodness your pup craves. Be sure to visit Spencer Lee's on Facebook
Okay.
or Instagram for updates and website information.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, come on in and sit down right here.
Yeah, all right. We're going to have Rick join us now.
Oh, thank you.
Are we done paying a bill?
We are done paying the bill.
All right. Rick, come on in here and join us.
Come on in
Hey,
here.
Rick.
I need a green too, because
It's right in front of
I
you.
appreciate
Right in
you,
front of
man.
you,
I went through that one way too quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Rick,
was,
just pull that close to you. And
Close to me.
Yeah.
Excellent. Perfect.
Rick,
There you go.
everyone.
Perfect.
I usually pull it away when I'm announcing.
Yeah.
all right, Rick, so introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
My name is Rick Uppel. I'm an ISA representative along with my wife. She fills in for me because I then call races throughout the year, starting in June, right through to October on the fair circuit here in Indiana.
Okay. Oh.
I also do Illinois, the circuit. I do Springfield, Illinois, and DuQuoin. And I also go to Kentucky for 4 race days in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Okay.
And last year I got an opportunity to call fan duel horse racing, a thoroughbred race.
Oh, wow.
I did
nice.
3 days over there.
So you have a lot of time on your hands, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I do.
Summers are a little busy.
Summers
for
are
you.
busy. Winters, I try to survive.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But don't we all?
We all,
It's
for sure.
Indiana.
You know,
Especially this year.
I came from the West Coast originally. I've been in Indiana now for, I guess it's 13 years, maybe 12.
Okay.
We made the move here. My wife trains horses, and where we lived in Washington State, and the very tip of the north, right, northwest, and we had to kind of make a move at that point. The racing was kind of going downward,
Yeah.
Okay.
and there wasn't a whole lot of money up for grabs. I had a daytime job as a mailman. I worked for the government. I retired early, took an early pension.
That's never a bad thing.
Yeah.
Early retirement.
No, never bad.
Yeah.
Never bad at all.
Yeah.
I actually announced at the racetrack there where she raced for 35 years straight.
Wow. Oh man, that's crazy.
Awesome.
So that's interesting. West Coast racing kind of going down a little bit.
Yeah. Because like if you look at the Midwest, you get people from Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Illinois.
All the way up in
The
Wisconsin.
closest thing to
yeah.
British Columbia there is California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's racing across Canada. In Alberta, there's a couple of tracks there. But in British Columbia, there's only one track.
Oh wow.
And so it's kind of hard to kind of keep things going there. And the cost of living is expensive there.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. That's got to be kind of hard to
Yes.
to run horse racing there.
It is, yes.
Rob's alternative is Yonkers.
Yonkers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whenever I'm losing here, I bet on Yonkers
Bet
to
on
win my
Yonkers,
money
half-mile
back.
track
Yeah.
specialist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he'll get up
Yeah.
at 3 in the morning and bet in Australia.
I did do that once, and I
Yeah.
did win money that time.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I know. You texted all of us at
Oh, yeah.
2:35 in the morning.
Yeah.
I just hit a trifecta in
My
Australia.
hours are totally opposite these guys. I work late, and then I
Yeah.
stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, where
Right.
they have to get up at like 5 and 6 in the morning. I'm
Ugh.
barely going to bed, so
Yeah, that's what I'm in a deep sleep too.
yeah.
We usually
Yeah.
mute Rob every once in a
Right.
while.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you do.
He gets real excited. Yep. Very excited about what he's betting.
Yonkers.
So how often?
I love the racing. You know?
Yeah.
I grew up in the city. I
Okay.
was born in Vancouver. I'm Canadian still,
Okay.
but I have my green card. I've been living in the States for almost 40 years probably.
Okay.
Love it.
And my parents always took me to the races when I was little. And one time, apparently, according to the story, I was 8 years old, and the announcer had come down, thoroughbred announcer, and apparently at 8 years old, I told him I'm taking your job.
There you go.
Foreshadowing.
Yes,
Nice.
right.
Speaking
But
into existence.
my number one love was hockey.
Oh,
Now
man.
we're talking.
Yes.
Who's your
Okay.
team?
Who's your
What's
team?
I don't have a favorite team anymore. Used to be the Boston Bruins.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Phil Esposito was my man.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm a little older than you guys probably.
As
that's
long
for
as
sure.
it's not
I
the
was saying, as long as you didn't say
Yeah.
the Penguins,
Not
we're
the
fine.
Penguins.
That's right. No Penguins fans here.
No.
Some of us here are Avalanche fans.
Are
so,
they?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
Quebec is old Quebec
I loved
team.
hockey. You
Yep,
know what
yep,
I mean? It was just kind of bad timing in the market.
Yep.
I got a job with the Junior A New Westminster Bruins back in 1980, and announced one season there. Traveled with the team and everything, and I was only like 2-3 years older than the players themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So it was pretty
Awesome.
cool.
That
I
was
had one
cool.
good friend that actually played on the team,
Nice.
and then the next season did it again, and then. Because the Vancouver Canucks are there, it's tough to kind of sell junior hockey
Sure.
when you're battling the NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt bad about that. But then all of a sudden I got a chance. I got a call from Alberta, the next province over, and there was a series going on between Victoria, which is in British Columbia,
Yeah.
against the Calgary Corral team. And they phoned and said, we've just had to fire our play-by-play guy. Is there any chance you can fly up here tomorrow and call the game? I said, yeah. I said, what's the series? They said, they're down 3-1. Okay, sure. 3-1. I fly up. I figure I'm going for one game, and I'm coming back home.
No.
So fly up, and all of a sudden Victoria won the game, 3-2. Now I got to stay
Nice.
over.
So you gotta stay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
now they
darn.
play another, not the next night, but the following night. They win again.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So now it's 3-3, and I phoned my wife, first wife.
I guess I live here
and,
now.
Said, can you meet me at the airport, because I'm flying back from Calgary, and we're going to land in Vancouver, and then I got to go over to Victoria. And if they happen to win on Friday night, we're headed to Detroit
Oh,
the next
wow.
morning.
Nice.
And so,
Did they?
what an exciting game.
Did they win?
Calgary had a chance to win the game and
Oh.
hit crossbar with about 5 minutes to go.
of course
And
they did.
Victoria, the right team won. Victoria won.
Okay, you got it.
They
Then.
came
Okay.
back and scored late in the game
Okay.
and won that Western Hockey League championship.
Wow.
So then they met 2 other teams for what they call the Memorial Cup.
Okay.
You're familiar with the Memorial
Yes,
Cup?
yes.
Yeah. And that's your future NHL stars right there.
Yep. Awesome.
Wow.
There was a bunch of them that made the NHL that I associated with. Grant Fuhr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So have you been to a game at the local team here?
No, I
The
have
Indy
not.
Fuel.
Indy Fuel, I have
Yep.
not.
So they got a new building now. They're at the
Okay.
Fishers Event Center.
Oh.
So 20 minutes
Really?
from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ECHL.
Okay.
And they go up to the Rockford Ice Hogs and then to the Blackhawks.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So I'm a season ticket holder.
Are they a farm team of an NHL team?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
through. So
the
it's
Blackhawks.
it's Ice Hogs and then Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they get a lot of
So
the
2 levels
AHL
down.
guys. The AHL contracts, about half the teams on AHL contract,
okay.
and those guys can move up. of
Move
course,
up to the next one. Okay. Yeah.
Now
right.
ECHL, you have maybe 1 or 2 guys a year
Right.
that will make it to NHL, but
Right.
it's
It's-
fun. Most nights it's a good time. Last night was
Not that great.
Not that great.
That's a tough racket.
It is,
Yeah.
and I don't know that.
I feel bad for like some of the kids I see. I don't know how much it is here in Indiana, but I flew back to see my mom and grandchildren and everything a couple of months ago, and hockey's big in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And parents have got their kids skating at 2, 3, and the parents are hoping for the NHL.
Yeah.
So and the kids aren't.
Kids are having fun.
Yeah, they don't
You have to be very, very special to make the NHL.
Yeah, I grew up in Vermont, so like
Yeah,
we
there you
would
go.
we would freeze our yard and skate in
Right.
it. My dad made
Yeah.
a Zamboni, so like
Right.
it was
And you
that
play
was
your
what we
game.
did when we were
Yeah.
kids.
So
Like,
I did
And-
just get the
the odd guy would
notification
stand
the Fuel
out,
did
but-
win.
Hey, all right.
2-1
Most
tonight.
guys, they don't make it.
yeah.
No.
You know?
I kind of feel like a lot of the players on the ECHL,
Yeah.
a lot of them are just hanging on.
Right.
Right. And it's, I mean,
They're
look,
making a little bit of a living.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Their housing's paid for.
Right.
Almost always you see when they retire,
Yep.
they just got married.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
they get to be 26, 27.
Right.
They finally get married. Maybe they go one more year, and their wife's like,
You need a
"This
real
is-
job.
Yeah, you need to get a real job. We're ready to start
Put
having
some weight."
kids and all that.
So the Indy team, it's compared to like when I was in British Columbia. I got a job as a sportscaster at a radio station, and I was only 20, I think. But they had I want to call it Western International Hockey League.
Yeah,
And they
probably.
had like small towns had it, and this
Yep.
trail where I was in Trail, they had a team called the Trail Smoke Eaters. And what they were big on is that
It's a great name.
the hockey players
I like it.
worked in the mines.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then they come out of the mines, and they were a team. They practiced. We got on the bus, and we rode everywhere. We went to Spokane, Washington, and my biggest thrill there. I was only there for 1 season, but my biggest thrill was the Oilers came to town.
Oh, wow.
Wayne Gretzky.
Very cool.
I was
Yeah.
calling the game, so that was pretty cool.
That's
That is
awesome.
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
those are the
Wayne
things,
Gretzky,
those are the things you remember.
Who had his first professional hockey game ever
Yeah.
playing
In
for
Indiana.
Indianapolis,
Yeah.
All right.
playing for the Racers.
Yep.
WHA. Yeah.
Yeah, but way
World
back in
Hockey
the day.
Association,
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're really a nobody unless you played for the Louisville River Frogs. They got canned like 12 years ago.
Right.
It's just a great name.
Yeah.
Hockey
Right.
is definitely a little different than horse racing and how it's set up and how it runs.
Yes.
And, yep.
Announcing completely too. Although there's similarities. Memorization. That's what it's all about.
There you go.
A lot of names, a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I knew my home team, but I
Yeah.
had to practice the visiting team. And when you're on the road, you're playing 8 games in 9 nights, 10 nights,
Sure.
whatever. Now you got to memorize these like pretty quick. I already
Yeah.
knew my home team, off heart.
Yeah. Well, Mike here is a director and producer for the Pacers.
Yep.
Oh.
So
okay.
he has to, he has to
Yeah.
deal with a lot of
Nice.
that, yeah,
Right.
and working with the announcers and
Yeah,
so on.
exactly.
So
I have a hard
yeah,
time
he's-
keeping track of our players, so it's like,
I'm impressed with what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah, heck yeah.
Absolutely. Getting it
Yeah.
out there, and, you guys work hard at it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
have fun at the same time.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
the most
That's kind of what
important part.
racing's all about too.
Yeah.
They work hard. All these people back there, they don't get all the credit they deserve.
Right.
So tell me about these. You said county fairs.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think I've ever been to a county fair race before.
Okay. Well,
I need to do this.
when you think of county fair, they think of like there's rides going on. And
Yeah.
There's
Right,
a
yeah.
small little racetrack, half-mile
and the
track.
animals are out there.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You go see the
4-H and
Yep,
all that kind
yep,
of stuff.
Exactly.
Right. Although in Indiana, it's lacking that fair thing. We do have our championships are in the Indiana State Fair when the fair's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have what they call the Governor's Cup Championship and the Governor's Cup Consolation. And that happens after the week before they have the Grand Circuit. Now you'll get all these guys, most of these guys going down there for that. Because now we're talking big money races, 30, 40, 50,000.
High purses, yeah.
The fair races go for 25,000 and 10,000.
Okay.
But to get to those races at the fair, you have to race at least 8 of the 13 fairs that they have throughout the season. You usually race once a week, and it's in the mornings. They start at 11 o'clock. There could be 20 races, 25 races. And then the next day, 2 and 3 year olds. There's only 2 and 3 year olds. That's all it is. It's kind of a prep for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They might not be quite ready to come here yet, but they'll get the practice and whatever they need. They accumulate points every time they start. They don't go for a lot of money, and they just get the experience. And if they accumulate enough points, the top 8 make it to that championship. Now, when that season's over, now they have the opportunity to come here.
Got it. Okay. And I'm assuming there's not gambling on those races.
No, not at all.
No.
Right.
Not at all.
But that's where a lot of these drivers get their starts.
I mean, other than
is
in
the
the
county
stands,
fairs
yeah,
and
yeah,
the,
the young
and
guys.
I was gonna say, I mean,
you're in
we
the
can.
stands and you gamble against each other. And
Right, yeah.
You're right.
Some fairs have a little contest for the fans. Put a piece of paper in a bucket between 1 through 8.
Okay.
And whoever wins, we'll pick a name out of that bucket. You win a T-shirt or whatever.
Prize pack or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go under the bleachers and shoot some dice.
Right.
I mean, that counts as gambling,
We
right?
Quarters
gamble.
against the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
So you said 13.
There's 13 fair. I can start out with. We're going to start June the 1st in Converse,
Okay.
which is Miami County, I believe.
Yep.
We do Shelbyville, Connorsville, Frankfurt, Indianapolis Fairgrounds. Actually, we do just regular fair racing
Okay.
before that big stuff comes up. What am I missing? Kentland has a fair, and they actually have a little 4-H thing going on there too. Oh, Corden, Indiana, down by
nice.
Louisville.
Bud drugs.
They actually do have a fair. They actually do have a fair going on there.
Okay.
I mean, it's a pretty
Nice.
nice little fair too. Yeah. It'll even have the monster truck pulls and all that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
right. Tractor
Yeah.
pulls. and-
Shelbyville.
yeah.
Did I say
You
Shelbyville?
did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't realize Converse had a track.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they do.
That's like a little
They
tiny
have
bird of
about
nothing.
100 horses stabled there that come here.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do that ship, every day or whatever
That's wild.
to race.
Kind of sounds like a podcast opportunity.
Be a lot of fun. Very cool.
Corden, but that's for different reasons.
Right. Yeah.
That's about it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Heine, you got a question in there. It's not directly for you, but I know you like to answer, so
Do what now?
you got a question in the chat.
Attention to your
Oh.
chat, sir.
Yeah.
Oh.
Moving along. Answer
Go ahead.
silently by yourself.
Oh, you're saying he should type his answer.
Yes, type your answer.
Oh,
Gotcha,
okay.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Someone asked
yeah.
about smoking in casinos, so.
Oh,
go.
that's
There you
a
go, yeah.
great
Good question.
That's a
Good
good thing to
question.
say on the podcast too. I mean,
Yeah. So what was the question?
Say it out loud. Read the
So-
question, Will.
Smoke and Noble said, does the new casino allow cigars everywhere like Vegas? I know Indiana can be a little weird about that. Not as weird as Kentucky. But
Not as weird as Kentucky.
True,
So,
true.
so that might
Gene.
be a gene.
Gene,
Smoking
Yeah.
casino.
casinos.
Yeah. You want to?
Smoke anywhere in a casino except for designated non-smoking.
Ah.
so
Areas where food is.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So food areas and designated non-smoking areas.
So you can smoke anywhere.
That's good.
Anywhere in the casino. And the horse track is a little different because there is more of a smoking designated area. Yeah. So down in the casino, you can smoke anywhere unless it has a no smoking sign.
Right.
I know that there's like one section of slots. I was down there losing a little money, right?
Yeah.
Supporting the local economy. And there is a small no smoking section for slots. I don't think there is for table games. All table games you can smoke everywhere,
Yeah, I
right?
think so,
There is
you're
a
right.
there's no non-smoking at the table games. I showed up with my cigar at the table game, and a couple people gave me the side eye. But I'm like, and the guy who's dealing the cards at the blackjack table turns his little fan on to blow the smoke away from him. I kind of felt
You sat
bad.
down, he went,
Yeah, I felt a little bad, but I also was kind of like, hey man, smoking's allowed here. So
Yeah.
there's not too many places where you can smoke cigars out in public, but
Yeah.
definitely
what is this,
in the
Waffle
casino.
House?
Yeah.
We're actually live. If you look kind of behind us, you can see just probably out of the corner there the Pegasus Bar.
yeah, right down
Yeah,
here.
and this is
This
where
way.
we come. We're
That guy.
once Tuesdays once they're running races on Tuesdays, we come out here a lot and stay for pretty much the whole night.
Yeah.
We smoke cigars. Hoosier Park is kind enough to give us one of these suites here, which is a box, that we get to sit around and hang out and have a good time. So yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, and around the Pegasus bar, you can smoke there too. So there's quite a few seats here that you can still smoke on the horse track side. Plus, obviously, during the summer, all the outdoor space you can smoke out there too.
Oh yeah,
and there's
yeah.
a ton of outdoor space, and it's beautiful to sit out there
It
too.
is. It
So
is. One place you cannot smoke in here.
The
in
backside.
The sports book.
yeah,
Or the
sports
sports book,
You
yeah.
cannot. There is no smoking anywhere.
You can
even
stand
near.
outside of it.
No, actually, somebody
Yeah, you
last
can't on
year
the side.
they
Okay, don't
complained.
smoke outside of there.
No, you have to come clear over to the Pegasus bar.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Okay.
if
This
you're
is where
looking
the
to
fun
go,
is
smoking
anyway.
in the barns.
no smoking at the
Right,
sports
right.
book.
No.
So, and
Can
no
you smoke
smoking
in the bathrooms? Because I
No
do.
smoking in the paddock area.
no, in the
Yes,
barns.
if
all that,
you're in
yeah.
the barns or paddock area.
Yeah, we definitely
you
don't need a
wanna-
bonfire.
No,
No,
Barn
we
fire,
don't.
sorry.
Somehow hay, is kind of
Yeah.
like a thing out there.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be a little dangerous.
I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned it, but you guys are lucky to be working at Hoosier Park because this is probably the best facility for harness racing.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
just the way it's set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with the clubhouse, the steakhouse, the suites here, theater seating,
Oh, yeah.
whatever you want, simulcast. It's the best facility here.
It's great.
And I think there's a lot of upbeat for this season. We've had a couple of changes, and hopefully, things are going to go forward. And with you guys helping out at the same time, I'm looking for a good season.
Yeah,
It sounds
totally.
like everybody's really
Yeah,
excited.
absolutely.
It was great talking to Gabe. He's
Yes.
bringing a new energy. So,
Right.
yeah, we're excited for a great race season. And
Gabe's a great guy.
Yeah.
He gets all the credit, and he should get even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right on.
I used to fill in
That's
for
nice
him
to
at the
hear.
Red Mile. When
Okay.
He was the announcer there.
Yeah.
And when he couldn't make it, he'd give me a call and say, Rick, can you come down and help me out? I said, absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Rick, we'll make sure and try and do a little promo once it comes around for our county fair racing season. Get some people out there to watch the
Absolutely.
horses.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
chance to take the family, and then of course you want to see kind of
free.
the next level and where they're going.
Yeah. You get up close and up with the horses there for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's perfect.
Lots of racing, and run them off. Once that race is over, okay,
The next one
let's
starts
bring
right
the
up,
next one's
yeah.
over.
I like that
Okay.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the
Rapid
minutes
fire.
to post is never right.
Yeah.
It's always like
Yeah.
minutes to post 0. You still got about 7 minutes to post your
Yeah.
bet to place your
I've got
bets.
it gauged down to probably we get 5 races in an hour and 4 minutes.
Wow,
Oh, geez,
okay.
wow,
That's,
yeah.
that's
Because we'll have 15, 16 races in a day.
okay.
That's-
And then the
that's a
next
lot
day
of
we'll do
racing.
the same thing again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they start with 2-year-old trotters and 3-year-old pacers the first day. Then it's the opposite, 3-year-old pacers and 2-year-old trotters.
Yeah.
Very
And that's how they
cool.
cover everybody there.
Well, if you got a Gaskin on the call on the simulcast, obviously you got to add 5 minutes to every race. I noticed that she likes to talk, and I'm not complaining. but, she just spits information, and
Oh man.
Emily is sharp.
I almost feel like I need to
Sharp.
record it and then slow it down. I'm like, okay, what did you just say? Like,
Yeah.
So
Right, I
she's
just
gonna
missed
join
an
us
important
before the
piece.
end of the day too. So
Good.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
saw
yeah,
her
hopefully
like 5
she's
minutes
gonna.
ago.
Yeah, she's gonna come up
I
here
got a
and join
question
us
for
too,
you
so-
guys.
Yeah,
If you
sure.
don't mind. I'm a former smoker. Okay, 35 years or something.
Nobody
I
likes
stopped-
a quitter.
I stopped at 3 packs a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
You guys all smoke cigars? Or
Yes.
Yep.
Do anybody smoke cigarettes?
Nope.
No, sir.
No.
Nope.
Okay, that's what I was curious
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
So-
I smoked
so-
cigarettes for 18 years.
I did. Yeah, I
Oh, you
did
did?
for
Quit.
about 15.
And just quit them all completely.
Yep. Cold turkey,
Really?
just gave it up.
Oh.
And then
I started doing a
smoked
lot of
any
other
cigars.
drugs
last 5,
after
10
that,
years.
but-
So it's a great chance for you to learn something. So you don't smoke cigars.
No.
So the big thing about cigar smoking, you don't inhale
Right,
at all, right?
right.
It's all about the flavor.
Taste.
That's it, just the taste. And so, like, I'll smoke 5 cigars a day,
Really?
for 10 straight days.
Yeah.
And then I'll go 3 weeks
Without it.
without it.
Really?
And it does. There's
no addiction
There's nothing.
to it.
There's no
Yeah.
addiction.
Really?
It's if you.
I know you
inhale
don't
it-
inhale, that's for sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so not inhaling is the biggest difference. By not inhaling,
Right.
you're not getting all that nicotine into your system. You're
Right.
going to get a tiny little bit, but even the highest strength, like for me, even when I'm smoking, 4 or 5 cigars a day,
Yeah.
I still know there's a couple cigars that I have to slow down at the end.
Yeah.
Because I'll get the head spins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah, just
sure.
because they have some strength
Stronger
to them
nicotine.
that's a little stronger on the
okay.
nicotine. And even with smoking that
Right.
much, I still get head spins on a couple cigars, but
Yeah.
I know which ones they are.
Okay.
And so I just have to pace myself accordingly
Yeah,
when I get to the
anticipate it.
last. Yeah.
And I'm an old school guy. Here's another question you might have the answer for. Cigarettes and vape. What's going on there?
Man.
Some
No
people
way.
do both.
That's
Well,
a,
and
that's a
everybody,
no-go.
when vape first came out, they were thinking this is going to be a healthier alternative until they realized all the chemicals and crap and the metals and everything else in it. Now they're starting to see a lot of even more negative effects to vaping than there was with cigarettes.
Yeah, it started off with popcorn
really bad.
lung was the worst fear, and then now they're realizing that there's a lot more involved there. And everything.
Anything you put unnatural into your body is probably not a good thing.
Which is why cigars are good, because it's all natural.
It's all
There's
natural
no, there's not a whole, there's nothing in it other than tobacco.
Even though there's not a legal definition, there's a Premium Cigar Association.
Really?
And they're definite, and it's a global association. They have a big conference every year.
Right.
It's in New Orleans this year.
Yeah.
They have a designation that says it has to be all tobacco leaf, hand rolled.
Really?
To be a premium cigar.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how you know, like a Swisher Sweet does not qualify.
No.
Right.
Right.
The Phillies, that kind of stuff, the black and mild type stuff, none of that qualifies as a premium cigar.
Right.
It will typically fall more to the cigarette kind of laws
Cigarello,
and all that. So premium cigars are finally getting recognized as a completely unique thing that doesn't have the same impacts as all the other tobacco products out there.
And we're all working at the state level to try to make sure that the people that are
John.
making the laws are actually understanding the difference between those, because they should be separate categories.
Right.
Go,
Okay.
John.
Go.
Okay.
Come
John,
on,
you
John
in?
DeLong.
Go, John.
Is he
Oh,
up
we gotta
there? Oh,
finish
come on,
this.
Paul!
Oh,
Is
they're
he on
neck
the
and
inside?
neck.
Come on,
Yep.
John.
Come on, John.
He got him.
That's
He got
Trace.
it.
And
That was
Trace
Trace.
going.
No, he lost.
All right. We'll have to bring John back on for a little shade.
Yeah.
That's right. What happened?
Well, they
there
may
at
make
the
him change
end?
clothes before he comes up here this time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, John fell off there on the one horse with Maddie's Jet Lady. He ended up in fourth, but
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
what he's in
I thought
fourth?
he was
Okay,
in
I thought he was
second.
in
My
the
bad.
yeah,
second
no,
place.
Joey Putnam ended up winning that one. He ended up beating out Trace on that one, but so
Oh,
Joey.
okay, so it's Trace on the
It
inside,
was six
gotcha.
six
You know what I
five.
get a big kick out of here? Or any track that has a lot of people on it? I love watching the reaction during the race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or just sitting here, and then all of a sudden
You
you
know,
hear the guy yelling over,
there's
like,
somebody
oh my gosh,
yelling
like,
and
oh,
stuff.
that guy's
Completely
winning some
across
money.
across the paddock over here, you'll just hear one random guy, "Come on,
Come
five!"
on.
They're jumping up and down, and then all of a sudden they're crying.
Yeah. It's funny. I've noticed
Dude, that was a great purse.
going to all the hockey games.
Right.
They'll play Phil Collins in the air tonight, and they'll do it right before the drum solo thing comes in.
Yeah.
And my wife and I, it was like you just felt like you always had to do the air drums. And then I didn't. One time I just watched, and then I told my wife, you got to watch these people.
Yeah.
And now we pick out. Did you see that guy? Like he was right on it, and he kept right on going for the last, the extra part of the song that they played. You're exactly right. Sometimes
entertainment.
It's just
Yeah.
entertainment watching the people.
And I'll walk through the casino and get entertained right there, too.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Unlike her favorite song, "Sweet Caroline."
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That my wife does not like that song. So
Yeah.
we always make fun of her.
Yeah, she's probably cussing me right now for even bringing it up.
Yeah.
She's not listening.
I
She's
doubt
listening to this right now.
She's not
No.
listening.
She's sitting on the beach
she's not
somewhere.
No, she just got some weird twitch in her left eye, and she's like, "God damn it, Heine."
She's probably already at the floor, man, and having a bushwhacker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My wife's down in Orange Beach, Alabama right now.
Is she?
Yeah,
Okay.
I sent her on a little single-person vacation. So
Well,
just
it's
go down
6:30
there.
down there. She's on her 12th bushwhacker
Right,
of the day.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
her record's 5 3/4.
Yeah.
Right, that's all she
Oh,
can
she's
handle
going
one
for
night.
records this time. She's
Could
by
be,
herself.
Could be.
So you guys are here on Saturday nights now. When the regular season gets going, you'll be here
Tuesday.
Tuesdays?
Yeah,
Tuesdays
yeah.
are
Yeah, once regular
And
season
are you
hits, we're
planning
here.
to be here now every Saturday?
No, we actually
Just
do
for
the
this
show.
one.
So Rob owns Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
Yes, right.
Yep, and we do the podcast live every Sunday
Okay.
from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. They're in the lounge.
Right.
Tuesday is going to be just a chance for anybody that wants to join us.
Oh.
Yeah, just come hang out.
There's members at the lounge,
Right.
And I think we're hopefully going to do a few things out here with the
Yep.
members,
Yep.
special events, and
Okay.
then. Because Rob is able to be off on Tuesday. The lounge is closed on Monday, and he can be off on Tuesday.
off on
we all
Tuesdays,
have
yeah.
day jobs,
Right.
So this is just
Yeah.
our
Okay.
passion in supporting the lounge and getting to
Hanging out.
smoke cigars and
Right.
drink bourbon with friends.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I'm sure you guys have been told this before by everybody else, but if you ever guys need anything, give us a call.
Absolutely.
I'll help give you a barn tour, whatever you want.
Okay.
Actually,
That's
my
awesome.
daughter and son-in-law are once again training for the first turn stable.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
perfect.
nice.
Right.
That's
So
Very
awesome.
good.
So they get a bunch of them together, once a month, and they jump in the bus and come onto the back, and
Yeah.
they love it. You know,
That's
not
great.
many
That's
people
great.
get an opportunity to be up close to a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Not
And it's-
really.
Our first time that we did a live podcast out here, we were out in the stables,
Right.
in that area, and it was really interesting.
It
I mean, we had
was.
the camera set to where kind of the horses are walking
you were
in
in
the
the- like,
background.
they were in the paddock
and-
there. Yeah, I
Yep,
remember,
Yep. Yep. So it's definitely
It's
been a
cool.
lot of fun.
It's cool.
Yep. Everybody out here at Hoosier Park has done such an incredible job, always being welcoming to us and
Always.
supporting.
It's a great
everything
community.
we're doing. So
It
it
really
really
is.
is.
It really
and
is.
we're hoping to continue to boost that, right? I think
Right.
even though people in Anderson and Muncie and Pendleton and
Yeah.
even north side of Indianapolis, they know that this is here. You know, I just don't think that they know what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more that we can do to kind of educate them, support it,
Right.
I think it's huge.
And when I
It's
use the
just-
word community, it really is because,
Yeah.
like tonight now, before that race goes, everybody's, God, I hope our horse wins, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But at the end of the race, they'll take their shirt off their back for you to help you move your furniture or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
That's just the way. Oh, you need help unloading that hay, or let me give you a hand.
Yeah.
But when it's race time, everybody's kind of on their own there. at
Don't
that
talk to me.
point.
No.
Well, yeah,
Unless you're my wife.
yeah, there you go.
Unless it's my wife, she'll say, if your horse has finished fourth, and you're not happy, that means you haven't finished fifth enough.
Yeah,
Good call.
exactly.
Good point.
Or
Good
whichever
call.
way, first, second, third, whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's funny. I was talking to a guy a couple nights ago. I was over at Buffalo Wild Wings here in town,
Yeah.
and he was a transplant from Louisville, actually, and a huge Derby fan, and
Love it.
had done all the
Sure.
horse racing stuff. And he thought moving up here it was going to be all like Colts football and Pacers basketball.
Sure.
And he didn't realize, now it's mostly automotive racing, but racing is in the blood of every Hoosier,
Right,
right? I mean,
absolutely.
dirt tracks everywhere,
Yeah.
IMS. The drag
Anderson's-
races,
Anderson
Anderson
Speedway.
Speedway.
Yeah.
We race potbelly pigs and wiener dogs here. I mean,
Hey,
come on.
honestly, I think we'll race just about anything.
Anything to bet on,
right?
baby.
Yeah, it's not a
I
problem.
called wiener dog races. Gabe was
Of
on the
course
track.
you did.
At the Red Mile. Gabe was down on the track and introducing the people, and
That's
I then did
great.
the call up top.
That's
Oh, my
wonderful.
God.
It's
hilarious.
unbelievable.
Yeah, well, racing is definitely in the blood of Hoosiers, as is Hoosier
Right.
hospitality, and
Good.
it's
That's awesome.
definitely. I just think people need to get out here and see what's going on at Hoosier Park.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
if
it's a
they're
good
really
time.
lucky, you get an opportunity to see what behind the scenes, and not just the barns, but this when you're in here, the judges,
Yep.
photo finish, all that will
Yep.
blow your mind. It really
Yep.
will.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of funny. We were out here and we had our final third shirts on,
Yeah.
right? So we're all wearing matching shirts,
Yeah.
and we're just down there hanging out outside by the winner's circle,
Right.
and they had us all come up and get a picture with the winning horse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
perfect.
just randomly. So
Yeah.
now I'm thinking we need to tell people, hey, if you're coming out one night, wear a bunch of matching shirts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody bring a nice camera or something, and they'll be
Right.
like, oh, hey, come on. You just stand there around the winner's circle.
Right.
You never know. You might get invited to get a
You
picture
never
with the
know.
horse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll invite you in. My wife and I have three horses. So if they happen to, you guys come on in.
Perfect.
Get your picture taken.
Awesome.
Because that's always the best part of the whole track is right there, the winner's circle.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 Right.
It is. It is. It's pretty wild.
And you
Yeah.
can hang out there all day. You can stand right out there at the winner's circle
Absolutely.
all day long
Watch
if
every
you
horse
want.
come in.
And it's
And watch,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It really is.
You
It's
won't
a
see
great
any
place.
sad faces there.
No, everybody's happy.
Just
in the
go a little
winner's
further
circle.
down, though, you might.
yeah.
Yeah. The ones that are tucked tail walking
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
I think
yeah.
even when I'm losing my bets, I'm still having a great time.
Yeah, I don't
Absolutely.
think.
It's
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah.
It's big time entertainment.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got to lose a lot to win a little.
People think they got to go to the races, they got to spend money, they got to bet.
Yeah.
You,
I tell
you
a
can
lot of
bet
people, you don't
20
have to.
cents
You
on a
don't have
trifecta.
to.
You
I
don't
mean,
have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
$1 bet,
You know,
20 cent bet.
management might not want to hear that, but
Yeah, but it's true. You
It
know,
is true.
I
Yeah.
mean, you come out and you're having a good time and you're enjoying watching it, and you just, I mean, if you got your family out here, you just turn to your kids and say, I bet the 3-horse wins
Right.
this one. Right?
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
actually bet, but
Right.
everybody knows gambling's part of horse racing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just,
Absolutely.
I bet the number 1 horse
Yeah,
is going to win. Right?
Tell you what, if number 5 wins, you're doing the dishes tonight.
Exactly. There you go. That's some chores.
you know, because everybody keeps asking that one question: where's the future of harness racing?
Yeah.
Well, how do we get the future of harness racing?
Right.
Right.
Well, the kids have got to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
have
do.
to be here.
And
Yeah.
if you get 100 kids, hopefully 5 of them will come back.
Well, I mean, if you look at every driver and every trainer that's out here, they're generational.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every single one of them. Both people we've had on here are 3rd and 4th generation already tonight. From Wisconsin, all the
Right.
and everything else. So it's one thing. Just bring your kids.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you also have to learn a little bit about harness racing, right?
Yeah.
I know you're a thoroughbred guy, by history.
Yeah.
And what's been your kind of whole opinion as you've watched more and more of this harness racing?
Oh man, I feel like I got something to prove. Right? Like
Even after Dan Patch?
well, I mean, so I hit pretty well on the Dan Patch race
did
last
ya?
year.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I hit the trifecta, superfecta, and the win. And they hit dead heat on
And they
1
did
and
a dead
2,
heat, so it paid out
Paid
twice.
twice on both of them,
okay.
and then the win.
Okay.
So I ended up getting like $900 on Dan Patch.
Nice.
So that was like my
Nice.
claim to fame. But
Sweet.
ever since then, I've been chasing that. So
Yeah.
it's $2 here, $2 there, and they're like, you got to buy the bill if you win.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, luckily that night we had all cashed out, and it was like the end of the night.
He got away cheap.
So-
Stars were aligning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I've been chasing that ever since. So like I feel like I got something to prove again. That like
Right.
I know the program, I know the trainers, I know the drivers. Like I know these stables, I know the people that are doing this because we
Right.
keep talking to them.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just feel like I'm gonna do it again. I know it.
But according
It's
to
in
Jamie,
me.
you don't know the most important thing. You don't know the horses.
I know.
Uh-huh.
You got to know the horses.
And
You
the,
I
gotta
horses,
don't
find
know
out
and
the
the horses
horses.
don't know you.
and
I know.
which horse has the heart, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing.
But
If they could only talk.
yeah.
Oh, man.
but you got your chance this fall with fractional ownership.
That's true. We're gonna
could-
get into
you
the
could get to know
fractional
a horse
ownership.
really
We're-
quick.
We're all gonna collectively
Are
get
ya?
into
Okay.
fractional.
Yep. Yep.
It's a great way to get into it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just dip your toes in and kind of
Yeah,
learn a
that's
little
all.
more about the
You can't get
ownership
hurt,
process
you know.
and
And
it's a
you're
minimal
gonna,
fee.
and you're gonna
and-
hopefully get entertained every week.
oh
yeah.
yeah, I
Your
mean,
horse is gonna race hopefully every
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
And
Yep.
as long
See,
as the
I
race-
said we'll just buy 10, and then if we just put them all in the same field. And
You're
we
gonna
bet
win.
on all of them.
One of them's
then
gonna
you're
win.
gonna win. Like somebody's gonna win.
Somebody's
then.
gonna win something.
You're
You
not
set that
really
up for us,
losing.
Gene. Can you make it all in one race?
Can you-
Put
can you-
all 10 of our horses in one race, and that way we at least win once.
He's not quite how.
Gene's gonna pull out the.
a trainer
no,
can
I'm
have-
the
a
IT
trainer can
manager,
have two.
guys.
A trainer can only have
A
two.
trainer can only have two.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
No
All right,
more
so we
than
got to
that.
spread the field between multiple
So
trainers.
you could have a field of 8 and you can have 4 trainers, and they all both have 2.
Oh,
Hey, the
yeah,
Fuel
yeah,
win.
We saw Fuel
Fuel
win
win, yep.
tonight.
Yep.
The Indy Fuel hockey team.
Oh, they won.
They won
Yeah.
today. Yep.
Yep.
Thank goodness against Cincinnati.
Shout out to the fuel.
Yep. Good job, guys.
Love it.
I'm glad to see him recover after
Yeah,
last
that's
night's.
great.
And how
Yeah,
many
last night
people
was
will
rough.
they draw?
About 6,500 on the weekends per,
Yeah. That's all
right.
per game.
They got a good
Yeah,
crowd.
Their
That's-
weekend games have actually been selling out, and this is a brand new stadium, first year in it, and pretty much every single weekend game is sold out.
It's a great
I'm
arena.
gonna have to look into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
they're
a lot of
doing
fun.
concert venues and comedy shows and all
Because
kinds
now
of
that
stuff
you
up
say
there.
that, I got a hockey card collection you wouldn't believe.
Oh, there you go. I bet. Yeah.
And I got 3 grandsons. They don't have any clue what's going on. They don't.
You got to get him out there, man. Got to get him
Yeah.
out there.
17 and 13, and they got little guys 5, but still.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 1968 California Golden Seals players.
Wow.
Jeez.
I laminated them. I did everything.
Some Hartford
know.
Whalers maybe in
Yeah.
there. Some-
Could be, yeah. Yari Curry's rookie card is, I don't know what it's worth, but Bobby Orr's.
That's
Oh,
nice.
You got somebody on the. I'm sure somebody watching right now is going, "No way!" Yeah.
Personal photos with Phil Esposito at the airport because my aunts worked as translators there. And then they notified my mom, and she took me down to the airport and got a special arrangement to go in. And then
Nice.
there's Big Phil right there.
We got Ty,
Espo.
Ty the Bourbon guy online
Yeah,
saying he went
shout
to his
out Ty.
first fuel game.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, great
Awesome,
job,
Ty.
Ty. Yep.
Yeah, hell
yep.
yeah.
Love
Very cool.
seeing
That's
new fans
great.
out there. Ty, you got to come
Yeah.
out and check out the horse racing now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, Rick. Well, we'll let
Yeah.
you get back to it. We'll make sure
Yeah.
and check out some of those county races. and,
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks very
Thanks so
much
much
for
for
joining
joining
us.
us.
Coming up
Thank you very
very
much.
well.
I appreciate you guys having
Good
me.
to see you.
If you need any help, just let me know.
You got it,
Appreciate it.
buddy.
All
Thanks,
right?
Rick.
Thanks,
Thanks,
brother.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
again,
Take
man.
care.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us, Rick. Everyone. That was great.
that
That was a lot of
was.
information.
Yeah.
That was a ton of information.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
So in case anyone missed it, we'll jump back into cigar talk here. What do we got now? The Espinosa
601
601
green.
green.
Which we smoke often
A
as
lot.
our
Yeah.
second
Yeah,
cigar.
a lot.
I don't
Yeah.
know if we have any more
Well,
possible to
I just
add.
pulled the green because we got Patty's Day. So.
St. Patty's Day for the green.
Yep,
Well,
yep, yep.
Say on, Gene.
I got my
Gene.
next cigar. I might be smoking my first 57.
Oh,
I
there
brought-
you go.
I brought one with me, so
I didn't
first.
bring one with me. me. So
Yeah,
You've been
I haven't-
sandbagging
I
those
know,
things, I guess, because I've
haven't
already
sm-
had like 3 or 4
I
of
have
them.
not smoked one yet. So.
I can't put them down.
Yeah, well, that's
So-
what scares me. As soon as I smoke one, I might be
Yeah.
like, well, those 10 are gone.
they're gone.
Yep.
So we have our buddy Gene Sissel.
Gene, everyone.
hanging out with
Shout
us
out
now.
Gene.
Finally joining us on the show.
We don't have to shout
Behind
out
the
Gene.
curtain
He's
and
actually
came
here.
out. The wizard's out of the curtain.
There, there it is.
Never mind the man behind the
Well,
curtain.
Gene,
Yeah.
introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are and what you do here.
So I'm Gene Sissel. I'm the regional director of IT for Caesars Entertainment. So I oversee the property IT operations at the 4 casinos in Indiana, and then consult with the Windsor Casino in Canada, the Caesar Windsor Casino out there.
Awesome.
I will say, Gene, I really appreciate because the company I work for operates this on-prem cloud software, and we made a bunch of changes when we got acquired and raised our prices a bunch. And Gene has not given me any shit about it at all. Has not even said anything. Has not been like, why don't you go talk to your CEO and tell him, Thank you, Gene. I always appreciate that.
Well, the good news is I don't have to handle that contract.
You got people under you to handle all that.
There's people above me on that one.
Oh, perfect.
So
All
he
right.
sends a memo and they complain.
Exactly. I'm
But
sure
you don't have to
somebody
hear
out
it.
there at Caesars has been up in the ear of Broadcom.
Well, and I'll tell you guys. So this would not be happening at all if it wasn't for Gene.
Yeah.
Sorry
Right.
about
Oh, you're good,
that.
brother. You're good.
Gene is our go-to guy out
Gene
here.
is the connection. He and I connected, and this all started happening because of our connection. He's been a friend for a very long time. Even before we had Final Third, we kind of knew each other a little bit.
Yeah.
So
So
it's kinda cool.
I learned from Rob from another podcast, and just do little cameos here and there on this podcast. And one day I'm listening, and he talks about this new lounge he's working on in Pendleton. I was like, well, heck, that's just down the road from my place. So, I waited and waited. Finally opened, and he decided to open on my daughter's birthday, so I couldn't go that weekend. So I
What were
waited
you
a couple
thinking,
more
Rob?
weeks, and
My fault.
yeah, I called a couple of buddies. So let's go down and see this guy and introduce myself. And man, we just had a great relationship since. And
Yeah.
we're all sitting around talking in Cigar. I was like, Rob, have you ever gone to a horse race? No. It's like, you guys need to come out here because you can smoke a cigar, you can have your bourbon,
Yep.
you can get away from the lounge and have a break from your day-to-day job, right? Because he's always there
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said, you can just kind of kick back and unplug for a little bit. And I said, and it's a lot like what you guys do. I think I've heard you guys already talk about community. And, that's one thing horse racing has over other forms of gambling. And I think that's the piece that sometimes people just don't realize is that it's a very social gamble, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys right now could all be betting horses, but having a conversation, having a drink, having a cigar, and still place the bet out and just relax and enjoy the experience,
I was
right?
gonna say,
That's
what
how
makes
it's
you
run.
think I'm not betting over here?
Right. Oh, I know you are.
Yeah, he's definitely betting.
You think he's
So-
mixing the board? No, he's not. He's betting.
I mean, it's a social environment. I mean, we
Yeah.
got a nice steakhouse.
Yeah.
We also have what we call our clubhouse that, is a little bit of a lower price than the steakhouse. It's a little bit more of like an Applebee's type food fare than you got your steakhouse. It's more of your traditional steakhouse. And go and order some food, watch some races, make some bets, come over here at the bar, have some bourbon, cigars. In fact, you guys will be happy to hear our new director of food and beverage is working on upgrading our bourbon product at the Pegasus Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie, right?
Stephanie, yeah.
Shout out
right.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah, we
Steve.
met her last night. She was really nice.
Which, before
Yep.
you go too far, Gene, did you want to have a cigar?
What?
Yes.
I would never turn a cigar down, Scott.
Well,
I mean,
okay,
I,
we
I-
got-
look, I even brought
He
my
walked up
lighter,
and
my
got
cutter. I'm just waiting for the offer.
Do you want the 601 or the Candela?
You know what? Whichever one is good.
You pick what you like, buddy.
Candela's going to be a little lighter.
Yeah, you know what?
and,
Let me get around with those Candos. I'm
Yeah.
from my buddy Trey Mack. I'm an Aladino fan.
Yeah, shout out.
Gotta
to
do
him.
it.
He might be listening.
Yeah, I know you'll be
He
into this
better be
one.
listening.
It's funny. I'll go back to my other story. I got a little sidetracked, but I was listening to a podcast one day, and Scott DeShawn's talking to Trey Mack. He goes, "Yeah, Scott's talking about racing, or Trey Mack brings up racing, right?" And Scott goes, "Yeah, AMS, we have a great time." He goes, "No, I'm talking about out at the racetrack. That podcast you did was great. Talking about the one last year."
Yeah.
And Scott said, "Oh yeah, that's great too."
Hey, I'll take it all, man. I love racing. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
a great
good.
segue too. We're talking about Aladino, so this will be your first knowledge of this too.
Yeah, speaking of
And
Aladino.
it's actually the first
Big
knowledge
announcement. Big
of
announcement.
anybody in the podcast world out there at all.
Final Third podcast exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yes.
Bum, bum.
So the new cigar coming out from Aladino at the trade show is it's actually been worked on, believe it or not, since 1961, when Julio moved from Cuba to Honduras, and it is going to be the 85th anniversary for Julio's birthday, which I think it's like a year or two ago. But it's his release. It is going to be, and I got to pull this up again. It is going to be 100% Pinot. I don't know how you pronounce that. Penorino, I guess.
Penile.
Tobacco. It's actually
not
what he was
penile,
telling me
okay.
is it's an old school Cuban cigar that he's been trying to grow in Honduras since 1961. It's literally what he says. It's literally his life's work, and he's been waiting for the last few years to release this because he wanted to get it perfect. This is coming out this year, and we're going to be getting this hopefully right after the trade show. So
Go Trace.
big time. We're excited about that, man.
Here
You
comes
heard it
Trace.
here.
You heard it here first.
Yes,
85th
yes,
anniversary
first
Aladino.
Yeah.
Getting released finally.
Yeah.
Which
So,
he's talked about that before, right? That he's,
yeah,
that this
but
is
they
something
did
he's
not
been
release
working
any
on.
information until right now. So we just got it 20 minutes, or well, I guess 2 hours ago now.
Look at this photo finish going on right now.
Three's got it.
Three's
Three's
got
He's got it. Just pulled away at the end. 4 horses deep. They were 3 or 4
There's
wide
still
right there
two
at the
that
end.
finished
Yeah.
at the end. That was nuts.
That was a good
Good
race.
race.
That was a tight race.
Yes.
Trace starts out real hot in the first race, and you're like, he's gonna have a great night, just like last night.
Again, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
but he's still second, third on the last 3
still
races.
plays show.
Cash
Yep.
and checks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you bet
mean-
it.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep.
Get your trifectas in, box them out.
So yeah, you'll have to come out to the Aladino event coming up here in a couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping to get there, and if Trey Mac's listening, hopefully they can squeeze some time out. I know he's been wanting to come out to the track. If he has any extra minutes, we'll take him on a barn tour. I mean, people don't know is Trey Mac's a horseman himself.
He is.
He actually served on the Quarter Horse
Quarter Horse
Association board
Yep.
in Kentucky. I know he's kind of moved away from that area, but Kentucky was bringing Quarter Horse back, and they tapped him to be on their board. So a lot of commonalities. That's why when you're talking about racing, he's about the racetrack, right?
Yep.
So we obviously hit it off pretty quick. So he's a great guy. Obviously, you guys all know that.
Yeah.
So, but back to our bourbon. Stevie's working on upgrading this bar, and I'm happy to announce that we're bringing on Indiana Small Bourbon as a supplier.
Indiana Small Batch, shout out.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Excited about that.
They're
Shout
working
out.
on
Well, now we know
getting
there's
them.
going to be some really great
Right?
stuff out
Yeah,
here.
so they're working on getting it set up. It takes a little while to get set up on the AP systems and so forth, as a distributor. But looking forward to getting some of the stuff that Will likes to highlight on this podcast and having it up at the bar here. So
That's great.
That's
That's
exciting.
awesome.
I heard that
Wow.
last week. I said, "Is it where I can announce it?" She's like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
they're working on
we-
getting them set up. So
We tend to kill through their bourbon selection pretty quick up here on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
There's a Old Kentucky Home Derby edition coming out. It's a beautiful horse model.
Really?
And it should be shipping to us, I'd say, within the next week, and we definitely need to get a couple of
Yeah,
those
that's
bottles
awesome.
Yeah,
out
definitely
there.
hold one of them for us for
it's,
sure.
It's a
So,
beautiful
yeah.
bottle, and it's 100 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Wonderful classic bourbon. Like, you can drink it neat, you can mix it, you can put it in an old fashioned, however you want to drink it. It works well any plethora of ways.
That's
and,
great.
I just enjoyed. It's a new one that I haven't really tried a lot, and I think it's phenomenal. And
Well,
you've had some of the
the Mile Kentucky Home. Yeah.
yeah.
We had that down at
Boundary Oak Distillery.
both of them. Yeah, we had the Lincoln and then that one as well. And actually, our bartender down there at Smoke Pit used the My Old Kentucky Home as our house old fashioned.
Yep.
Really?
So
So
Stephanie,
it's actually
Stephanie
good.
wanted the War Eagle because she liked the presentation of the bottle.
It's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not a huge bourbon person, but I love the way this looks.
a
And I know
badass
everybody
bottle.
here is going to love the way
Yeah,
that
it's
looks.
a really nice
So,
bottle.
Yeah, you'll definitely be able to find some Boundary Oak stuff here, some Circle
Yeah.
City, probably
Circle
some Whiskey
City,
Acres.
Whiskey
Yeah.
Acres.
High
yeah.
Bank.
J-Mat. Yeah.
J-Mat, yeah. There's
High
going to be some
bank
good
at some
stuff here.
point? Some high bank?
High Bank.
Ooh.
High Bank's coming.
It's
Yeah.
coming. It's coming.
Nice.
You know, of course, Old 55. We always have
Yep.
Old
Yep.
55.
Yep.
Jason's got a lot of great barrels he's getting ready to drop.
So just be prepared to. You just got to come to Harrahs Hoosier Park.
Yeah.
You got to
yeah.
come
Yeah.
to Pegasus Lounge because
Yeah.
I mean Gene's hooked us up and he's got some good stuff on the bar up there that we necessarily haven't been able to have, and
Yeah.
now it's gonna get better.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah,
I'm
just
looking
we're
forward to
working
Gene,
on
one of the
product.
things that we started talking about is we want to do a Final Third podcast, and we thought maybe Harrahs Hoosier Park might want to do that in conjunction with us. If we could get something through Indiana Small Batch to be able to make that happen, and maybe get your brand on there with Final Third.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, that'd be really neat to do. Obviously, I don't make those decisions, but I would love to put it out there to the
Set
people
it
who
up.
do, for
Well,
sure.
And I've told you, Gene, like
Yeah.
anytime I'm happy to come out and do tastings
Sure.
through
And
the line.
I told
we get 'em.
Stephanie, I said,
Yeah.
Will's going to be out here. He's got a little ownership in that business, and I said he's more than willing to
Absolutely.
help educate our bartenders about the product that they're bringing in, that you choose to bring in. He's more than willing to come out and talk about it. I know we're talking about, yesterday even having some table tents to kind of give a couple of lines of scripture, because I mean, the whole point of small batch is that it's boutique, right? So it's going to be stuff that people don't know. It's not like your Makers, it's not your Knob Creek, or your Elijah Craig. It's stuff that people may see on the shelf, they just don't understand or know what it is. But have a Whiskey Acres and talk about how it comes from the farm to the bottle, not just the cliche grain glass, but it really does come from that field all the way through,
And
right?
there's so many parallels to the trainers and the drivers and the work they put in versus the work these guys are putting in. They own the farm. They get up at the crack of dawn. They plan everything. They mash everything. It's just there's just a good connection between I feel like the horse racing community and bourbon, especially craft bourbon.
Yeah, there's an art behind the way that the drivers and the trainers do the things that they do.
Yeah, screw mint juleps. It should just be all bourbon.
Racing cigars and bourbon, man. There's nothing better.
Except for one day in May.
Yeah, except for one day in May. That's it.
That's right.
It is allowed. It's fine. And then there's another day in May where we also drink a liter of Eagle Rare, but
and
that's,
all the other stuff.
Yes, and everything.
Well,
that
that's
we
his
can put our
fault,
hands
though.
on.
That's
Yeah, it's a good thing you said something. I got to get a bottle.
oh yeah.
it's time to get your bottle.
It
for
should
that
be
one.
easier
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. Oh, well, food? No, I'm good. Thank you. They're asking about food.
Nah.
Well, speaking of Old 55, just to throw it in there as a segue, April 19th, the End of Watch
Oh,
event,
yes.
Oh, Legacy Fund.
the Legacy Fund event through
Yep.
Old 55 at the distillery itself.
Yep, we'll be up there with a booth set up out there.
We're going to try and pod from there.
Hey, if you guys are available, I'd love to be able to do one up there.
I
So-
think
We
I
can make
have,
we can make it happen.
I think I have a game that day.
Okay, we'll figure
So
it out.
you guys
We'll
will
figure it
be
out if we
without
can.
me.
Hey,
but-
we have already proven that we can produce a show too.
Yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
As long as you put the right thing in YouTube, we're fine.
Right. What we said.
Okay. I'll make sure it's right. I'll make sure it's right.
Trying to wait till the very last minute and making sure it's working.
So,
Stressful.
Yeah.
since I brought that up, I'll go ahead and do the calendar events that we got
Do
going
it.
on. Obviously, we're out here. We got St. Patty's Day coming up Monday. You guys are closed.
We're closed.
Good timing.
Yeah, I know.
That's fine though, because we don't need to do green anything
No,
out there.
we wouldn't anyway.
Although
Fuck
it did
you.
ruin Kilt
Lisa
Day.
would try, but I wouldn't let her.
That didn't ruin Kilt Day. We were trying to do out there.
Kill day. I'm in. I'm in.
I brought my own green.
Yeah. Well, you're a certain kind of special.
Everything's green.
Everything's green.
So then we got first round of March Madness coming up March 20th.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of that, if you've checked your email, Lisa's going to send out the weekly update, and she'll put a picture on there because it was just a little bit of text and it was kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
But there is a final third bracket
Yes.
that you can jump in on.
Yes. We got to join that.
So
We
I
gotta
joined
join
it.
that
I
one.
got in because Lisa told me about it, and I went out and I'm like, oh yeah, you definitely got to get a picture on that so that we know.
Yeah.
What
And whoever
that is.
wins their bracket gets it's a $200, a little over $200 package.
Oh.
So you're getting one of those crazy, amazing cigar cutters, the knife cutters, the Le Finet, or however you pronounce it, and the sheet that goes with it too. It's over
The finger
$200
deleter 5000.
Something like yes. Amazing knives, amazing cutters, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we're giving one of those away for the winner of the bracket. So
Nice.
Also,
get
looks
in on
like
the
you could
bracket.
use that to
Gotta
do
join
a
our
snip
bracket.
on a newborn boy.
You could. You
Yeah,
could do that.
it kinda looks
use
like
it as
that.
a box cutter. You can use whatever you want to, man. It's great.
I just want to give a shout out too. This is an amazing bourbon
So
you guys
good.
have right now.
That's
This Larceny
125, yeah.
125.
So this is the Larceny,
good.
what, A125?
A125,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And then you got quite a bit of this.
Yeah, I know they got at least a case in, and I'm sure as it goes, they'll be bringing more in. So
And it's solid. It's a $9
Yeah.
pour here.
So what are
Yeah.
you going to do next month? Because that'll be gone.
Yeah.
well, we'll figure it out.
I will say that today Rob and I tasted the Elijah Craig barrel proof A125.
Oh, is it
Oh,
good?
yeah.
Phenomenal.
Great.
Off profile,
cherry
totally
bomb.
off profile,
Cherry
but
bomb.
it's a fruit bomb.
I did not
It is-
read your text message early enough. I would have taken a bottle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just
I
some
gotta-
bottle
it's okay.
pour.
I got to get
Yeah.
one.
Is it running
I'll
at
find
94 proof this year, or is it a little?
No, this is 118.
118.
This is the
Okay.
barrel proof.
Barrel
series.
proof, yeah.
What'd you say? It was 75?
$75.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
yeah,
nuts
so do
for
I.
that.
Yeah.
We were just
Yeah.
talking about that last
Yeah.
night. That
Yeah.
most of the barrel proofs are 95 and up. Like,
Yeah.
Well, the single barrels tend to run higher, right, Rob?
Yeah.
That's what we've been
Yes.
noticing.
Single
yeah.
barrels definitely are closer to $100.
Which I don't quite get, but
It's the same price going to them. It should be
yeah,
at least. Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah.
hey,
Buying
it's a
the
great
name.
bottle. If you guys are looking for that, get that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Larceny, the last, 2 years, man.
Yeah, this
Just
one's
home
solid.
run
That-
after home
killing
run.
it.
That A125 version last year was a great one.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, and they just followed it up again with another great
Another
one.
great
Yeah.
one.
I tell you, I've had enough of A125 Larceny this week that the green food coloring didn't change the flavor of it too
Didn't
much.
change it at all, huh?
It was just to piss Rob off. 'Cause he didn't
Yeah, I
want-
know.
Because he
Yeah.
hates
The
green.
problem is between last night and today, I think the first bottle's already gone.
Yeah.
My first bottle went in like just a couple nights. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were
So
killing
we do
it.
have it at the lounge too. If you guys are looking for it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
got
so
this
good.
funk to it.
I really wish I would have known you were going to do green. I would have went up there and said, make sure his green is cream to mint.
Oh, it's my green.
It would've
I
really
brought
rough.
my own green.
Yeah.
I
Right.
went. I stopped at Needler's on the way here to get
jeez.
this because
Oh,
I
so
didn't
you paid
have
5
it.
times the price. Good job.
Yeah, it was $7 for this.
But it's organic.
It was worth it.
It was totally worth it. The
Totally
look on
worth
Rob's
it. Totally
face
worth
was
it.
priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna put it in yours, but I didn't know how to
Honestly,
get
from
over
this
to you.
angle, it looked black, so it's fine.
So we always ask, like, Gene, like, what's your favorite? I shouldn't say favorite, but what's your? If you're going to the shop, thinking about getting a cigar, what's your go-to when you go to Final Third?
Well, you know, I tell you that's a tough one because the last couple of years they've had, or last year especially, they've had so much good product come out recently, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I was big on the Aldea Cameroon. I love that cigar, but then and I still do. But man, I tell you, the McAuliffe Black, Blue, Red, man, those have been really good too.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
have.
so
Yep.
I have a
Speaking of
little bit of trouble.
McAuliffe.
But I saw a post that Rob put up the other day.
Yeah.
Got a little between the red and the blue there.
Yeah, we got the purple, and actually, Will happened to be in the shop today.
I was at the
too,
right place at the
Perfect
right
time.
time.
So he got
Perfect
I was
storm.
going to say, you only had just enough for the podcast.
No,
You
Jeremy
could-
stopped by.
Oh, of course he did.
Oh.
That's
Yes.
bullshit.
So he
Man,
stopped by and dropped him
you know,
off
I
one
came
to
here and
smoke.
gambled. I should have gone to the shop. I
Yeah,
I messed up.
Jeremy, when I walked in,
Dude.
Jeremy got up and went out to his car, and I'm like, man, I hope he's getting me a purple. Man, I hope he's getting me a purple.
Did you have your coin on you?
Oh,
Oh, I
I
didn't
mean,
think about that. Yeah.
no, I didn't, but
But he gave him a
Well,
free
he
cigar.
got
anyway.
he got a
Well,
nice
Jeremy
pour of
knows
Elijah
us all
Craig,
pretty
too.
much,
Yes,
yeah.
he did.
Yeah, it was a good even trade.
It
Yeah.
was.
So what'd
but
you
it's
think?
good. It's
What'd you think, Will?
I think it's great. I will say my initial thoughts. You know, of course, I want to smoke a few more. It's a great cigar. It's not as spicy as the red, but it's definitely more balanced to me than the red. And there's more transition between the second third and the final third.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
The Retro Hail is spicy enough to remind you of the red, but the regular flavor is a little more, I'd say, balanced, right?
Yeah,
Like maybe,
yeah. It's definitely got a lot,
Well, that's what they
a
were
lot more
shooting for.
savory, a lot more
Yes.
earthiness to
Yeah.
it that you don't get out of the red. But like he said, I think it definitely has a little bit more complexity. Definitely more complexity, like the blue and the black. He even said that when he's there. They're a little bit more one note, which is not a bad thing.
No.
If it's a good note, it doesn't matter.
Well,
But with
especially if
these-
that's what your palate's looking for.
Exactly.
It nails it.
But this
yeah.
one here has the most transition so far. The red obviously has been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to be a great addition.
Similar price point, I'm assuming.
Same
Yeah,
price.
Same price.
and,
It's
you know,
amazing that price point on that cigar.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
going to
On
be
all
a
of them.
Yeah,
for
that's what I
me,
mean. You know, it's
It's
just a great
crazy.
price on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
for me, it's going to be a mood thing, right? It's like, what mood am I in? Do I want that spice, or do I want something that's going to be, like you said, more savory,
Yeah.
a little more going on? It's just going to come down to what I'm feeling at the moment. But they're
Honestly,
both
for
great
me,
cigars.
it'd be like having certain meal like a steak. I would want to go to that purple or maybe the black, but with something like a fish dinner or something like that, I would want the red.
Yeah.
I think that
It's got
they're
more
definitely gonna have the
spice.
pairing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the red's
so,
got the more spice and
so
get
definitely
you more
they're
red
definitely
peppers.
expanding the line. He actually told us a little bit about the next few coming up. The greens coming out later this year.
the white,
The white will be coming the
ye-
first of the
the-
year,
the
and
yellow.
then the orange.
orange, yeah.
Those are going to be the next two next year. Those are going to be both two different Connecticut's
So
coming
they're
out.
going
which will
all
be great.
in like they are.
Oh yeah.
Going all in with the colors.
They have found
Well,
they
they-
have found a great niche that,
have.
that
Yeah.
they're filling a market that is
They-
Put
They
them on the
teased
map.
us on that the last time I think Jeremy was on.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
He was
color
like, "We got a
palette.
lot coming out, but I can't talk about
I
it."
wonder if I was supposed to say that. We'll find out later. If Jeremy's
Sorry.
well, Jeremy's doing an event right now, so he's not listening.
So in other words, since I didn't
Amanda-
hit this at the beginning of the podcast,
We
the
didn't
views and
say what it-
opinions expressed in this program are not of the speakers are not necessarily reflect those the views and opinions expressed by Final Third.
Yeah,
So
well, you're covered because Amanda McCall sent out an email about the purple coming out, so you're covered.
At
Well,
least
I'm
for
talking
that
about the
part, but the
orange
other
and
two
the
are
yellow and the
white.
white.
We didn't say what they were. We don't.
No.
So it's
Yeah.
just
No.
two more.
It's just the color. It's just the color.
Now we did.
That's all you need.
Jeremy did tell us that they are going to allow us before the release and before PCA to have the purple on the podcast.
Yes.
So
next week.
Next
podcast
Sunday.
we're doing
Okay,
it.
so
Yes.
next Sunday,
Yes.
Sunday, a week
Yeah.
from this coming Sunday, because obviously I'm not going to do the podcast on Sunday.
Yep.
That's tonight. But we'll have the purple
Yep.
on the podcast, and we'll be doing the full rundown.
Yes. You guys are gonna love it.
I can't wait.
It's
I'm
awesome.
excited.
It's awesome.
It's good stuff. It's the right season. PCA coming up. There's going to be all these
Well,
great cigars.
and for all
Obviously,
the-
the 85th from Maladino.
Exactly. I can't wait for that.
And
too,
it'll
but-
probably be on the shelves at Final Third in May, right?
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
have it 1st of May. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Aladino, we also have April 5th. We have the Aladino
That's the Aladino event.
there
Yep.
for the Final Four
Final
event.
Four event.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So we'll have a big basket of Aladino stuff, some cigars and all that stuff. They're going to be given away that day to the winner of the day. Plus, you're getting box discounts.
Your box discounts and
all
your
the
normal
swag, all
stuff that
kinds
we
of
do.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
Hey, come in, get your cigars, enjoy the event, come out and watch some horse racing that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
And then I
Should be a
already
great time.
mentioned the end of watch thing is April 19th
Yeah.
at Old 55.
Full 55, yeah.
Yeah, and I
think
know we've
so.
talked about them a lot, but what that day is, that is their big fundraiser day.
Yeah.
So they have a stupidly amazing allocated bottle list of that you get a bid on.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a William LaRue Weller or looking for a George T. Stagg,
Yeah,
they've
they're
got
gonna
them
be
all.
there.
Yeah, if you go on their social media
Yeah,
page,
they're
they have a
gonna be there.
picture of all of the bottles sitting out there, so
Crazy.
you can get a look and see what's all on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually the best selection he's had so far.
Rob, do you
Yes.
want
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, they're not for sale here. Sorry.
Not
Stop.
yet.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Stop by the Final Third Cigar
Yeah,
Lounge.
stop by the lounge.
Stop by the lounge. Yep.
So Gene, going
Sorry, I
into
didn't wanna start that.
2025,
Right.
what is your excitement going into the 2025 race season? What gets you going this year?
You know, we're making several changes this year. You know, obviously we got a new tote board with a new digital signage on it. But on top of that, we got some great promotions for the racetrack. I mean, you saw that last night when you guys were here.
Yeah,
we had,
absolutely.
quarter shirt
got
giveaway.
my
We had
pullover.
mega bets. See, Will's got his
Yeah,
with him
there it
tonight.
is.
Yeah, and
It's nice.
a
That's
puck drop,
awesome.
which is
Yeah.
sort
Puck
of
drop.
like
One of those.
another game show type game that is copyrighted, so I can't say, but you kind of get the idea when you climb
Rhymes
up on a
with
board, you drop
Splinko.
that
Price
might
is
something
Right,
like that. Yeah. so
Gene can't say it. He didn't say we can't say
yeah,
it.
right.
Exactly, yes.
So, but yeah, they got a lot of promotions coming on this year at the track. A lot of exciting ones. We have our staples like Beat the Boss. That Will was he was on fire on the
He's
first.
in it.
Yeah, are you
he's
in it? Did you
that.
get in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
13 people were in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm
there's-
one of
there's some-
13 for the drawing for the $250, I think it was.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't win it last night. Somebody beat me out. I don't know how, but somebody beat me out. I went straight Trace on all 6 of those races, and he won 4 of them.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
And
that.
then he got
right?
second and third in the other 2.
Wow.
So Trace killed it last night, for me at least.
Somebody had your number a little bit, huh?
Somebody had to pick the other 2 races better than me because they
Wow.
won it. But yeah, we're in there for those.
Well, John said, like, Trace loves running in this type of muck, right?
Yeah.
I'd be betting on him again tonight. Like,
Absolutely.
just
I mean,
without
if you do
knowing
the place
anything.
in the show, at least he's been placing at least.
Yeah, I got first in the first one, and then the others was place and show. So he's
Yeah.
he's been staying up
He's,
there.
he's getting on the podium, so
Yeah,
as long
we're
as you
on-
include him in your trifectas.
Right. We're on race 5 now, and he's on the 4-horse Helpful Nana. So he's pulling up the rear right now.
Yeah, he's pulling
but
right now.
You got to wait for him to make his move right here. He's coming. I need the 4 and the 6 to move.
Coming
up.
out of turn 4 now, so we'll see
coming.
how this one ends real quick.
He's getting out there.
Him and 6 are making a run from the back.
Did they just bump wheels?
It happens.
It
This
looks
is the
like it.
excitement that you get out
Yeah,
here.
he dropped it.
I always
So-
love the way it's on the screen too. Like you
Yeah.
can see exactly what's going on because you can't necessarily tell by watching them on the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too far away.
Two's
so-
coming hard,
Go
man.
3.
Two
Oh,
is coming.
look at that.
That's
Go
3.
three.
3.
Three.
3.
Coming up on the
Sorry,
outside.
Three's got it.
3's got it.
Three is
got it.
gonna take it for the win.
Who's 3?
Oh, 3's Dwayne Miller, Dover Hill.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm not even going to try to say that trainer's name. Schwartzentruber.
There you go.
Yeah.
Close enough.
How
Sound
close
it out.
was that,
Use your
Gene?
big words.
Yeah, it's about a head there.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good
Hey,
race.
Tony Rintz out there watching us. Tony,
Hey,
Shout out
Tony.
Tony.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
Yeah, Tony.
Appreciate that.
Tony organized our interviews
Yeah,
earlier
thank you.
today. He was working
Thank
on
you,
that.
Tony. Yeah.
And Tony's he just got done with some surgery, so
Okay.
he did that while he was doing that. So he was coordinating and getting people here. So
Heal up quick, man.
Yeah, heal up,
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Race 6 is next. We're gonna call it the final third race because
it's got your
it's
Yeah.
got its
Yeah,
page
our
on
logo
it.
right on it.
Yeah.
Are we on the screen again?
Yes.
Are we in the screen
We will
rotation?
be.
We will
I haven't
be.
been. We're
Yeah,
working
we
on
will.
that.
Yeah.
We're getting that settled. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to record a new commercial.
Yeah,
for
we
you
got to
guys.
get
gotta get that
Jacob
going.
will
We'll
be
get
getting
that
us
back
a
in the
new read,
podcast
so.
and get it in
Right.
the rotation. So
Yeah.
always appreciate the sponsorship from Harrahs. It's,
It's good both ways.
It,
Yeah,
it
we
really
love the
works.
partnership.
We
Yeah.
love coming out here, and we love just all the people and the community and everything that you guys do
Yeah.
for the area and the city of Anderson. Sounds like this will be the city of Anderson spot to get bourbon.
Oh, it will be.
I
Yeah.
don't know that there's anywhere
It
else in
should be.
Anderson that I don't know. Maybe the new steakhouse downtown probably has
Maybe.
some decent
haven't-
bourbon.
Yeah, I hear it's a great steakhouse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Haven't
I've not
been
had a
there
chance
yet.
to get there yet.
I have not yet.
But
It's on
everybody's
my
talking
list.
about it.
Yep.
Everybody's talking
Yeah,
about
Gabe
it.
told us last night he went there once. And
Yeah,
it
he was kind of surprised.
It was
Yeah.
killer. Yeah.
Okay, but you should definitely come out to the steakhouse out here.
Yeah.
I've eaten
Yeah.
here a number of
Oh,
times.
we've
we've
eaten
eaten
here
here a bunch.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. I wish you guys would have oysters, but I don't really know that it's going to sell enough to I don't know if the crowd would.
Yeah, we've
want
had
it.
them in the past. They come and go, kind of. So
Okay,
I don't know.
all right.
Oyster night.
Yeah, they haven't. As they make changes, seasonal changes, sometimes they pop up and
I'm
go.
gonna say
so.
we've been fans of the prime rib, the wagyu
Oh,
burger,
yeah.
the all kinds of stuff that they've got out
now,
there.
now, is there any? It's one of the things I talk about is the social media presence.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys doing with that? Are you with Gabe coming in? Is that game
Yeah,
getting
so,
uplifted?
Gabe
Should people
is,
follow Hoosier Park on all the
I
platforms?
say
Is
Gabe's
there
a big
others?
fan of Twitter, but
Obviously,
yeah.
Gabe himself, he gave us his handle.
Yeah. So we have Instagram. You can follow Hoosier Park Racing and Hoosier Park on Instagram. They have a Facebook page also. That's where a lot of the postings go.
MySpace.
Gabe is huge on the Twitter. He has what he calls "Send It In Army" that follows him. That he calls things out for them to all throw a bet at because it's something that he's big on and got a lot of followers there. Emily Gaskin, who you have met. She does. She has a big following. She does a lot of posts about Hoosier Park and things about it also. And Jacob Reimheimer. So
Shout out.
Yeah, I think there's always room for improvement there, but there's where you're going to find us right now.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Now
That's
I know
great.
we're getting close to our time that we normally end the show, but I know that Emily was talking about being here.
Yeah, I think her day job interfered with it. I don't think she's been able to.
That's-
Just
I
kind of
saw her walk in and out a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
can kind of drop me notes that she wouldn't be able to make it up here. She's
That's
very
all good.
busy.
That's okay.
now, so.
Next
We
time.
had really great guests tonight.
I
Thank,
know.
thank you,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, it
and
was
thank
great.
you, Tony, both of you for all making this happen.
Yeah, this was great.
We just love it out here, man. It's so much
do.
fun.
Oh man, it's always a good time. You guys come out. I enjoy hanging with you guys and trading stories, and it's just a good time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's wrap it up then. We're
Yeah.
going to move on. We're going to keep drinking. We're going to keep smoking.
Yes, we
And
are.
we're going to
Yes.
keep betting.
And we're going to
Yeah, we
keep
keep
betting.
betting.
I'm going to get started betting.
That's what
here
we're
in a
I was
doing.
going to say,
So-
I haven't been betting yet, so
Haven't
it's,
yet.
it's
I don't know. The
coming.
girls disappeared, so
They
I can only
probably went
imagine
up
what
to
happened
the
on that end.
top of the park.
Oh, did they head up there?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
All right,
Ernie, invited everybody up there that was at the event at your anniversary party
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, perfect.
So I think
We're going to head up there too.
Very nice.
So,
Yes.
Heine, where can they find you at?
Moto Photo Will on Instagram.
All right.
Find me at Scotty D Smokes.
You can find me at Both Their Visuals, Spencer Leeds, and don't forget to follow The Final Third Podcast.
Yep, I'm everywhere. Final Third Cigar.
Find me at Cocky Wolverine.
Where's
G?
Harrahs?
it's on Instagram, Harrahs Hoosier Park.
How
Love
about
it.
you?
Perfect.
Well, I am on Instagram, but you wouldn't find nothing there. I'm like Scott a little while back, nothing really there. I got to
Family
work on it.
photos, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
look up Gabe_Pruitt on Twitter because he will give you anything that you need to know on
Yes.
Twitter.
Right,
So
that's right.
follow
Thank,
that.
Thank you, Gene.
No,
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
you
you.
guys. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks to
Yeah.
all of our
Love it.
guests for coming out.
Yeah.
John DeLong, keep killing it tonight,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yes,
Right on.
And if you
absolutely,
guys
yeah.
haven't been out here, get
Get
out here.
here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, till next
Let's
time.
go party,
everybody.
Yeah,
boys.
thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
everyone.
guys.